Welcome to Boston and welcome to Baseball Night in America and Fenway Park for a World Series rematch between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Boston Red Sox. After the Red Sox took the opener last night 8-1, we get ready for Game 2 of this weekend series. Welcome inside. Joe Davis, AJ Brzezinski, Ken Rosenthal joins us in a moment. And so the Red Sox about 20 games off of the pace from last year's record-setting 108-win regular season. Pitching has been a big part of the problem, right? And then right at the top of that list is Chris Sale, who goes tonight. The Red Sox are going to make a run in the second half. He's got to be a whole lot better. Absolutely. And Chris Sale traditionally has been unbelievable before the All-Star break. For the first time in his career, he struggled a little bit for the Red Sox. Now, Chris Sale tonight against the Dodgers, the best team in the National League. The Red Sox want to get hot. They win the first game of the series. They need Chris Sale, their ace, to step up, pitch this game, win the game for the Red Sox. The offense has been fine, but if the Red Sox want to go again to the World Series, they need Chris Sale to pitch like the ace. And you mentioned the Dodgers. They've been the best team in the National League pretty much all season, and we get into July and everybody starts talking about trade deadline. Who's going to be acquired? Well, the Dodgers got a few guys off of the IL last night that they feel really good about adding into that lineup. Well, absolutely. The Dodgers have the deepest 40-man roster in all of Major League Baseball, and they use it better than anybody. And Dave Roberts is a master of manipulation with his guys, and he got Corey Seager, David Freese, and A.J. Pollock back in this lineup. What does that mean for the Dodgers? They're able to transform their lineup every day, versus lefties, versus righties. They're deeper, and Dave Roberts loves to tinker with his lineup, tinker with the position guys plays, and all this does is help the Dodgers for the long run. They try to break out of a little mini slump here, having lost 4 in a row. It is a perfect night for baseball here in Boston. And a World Series rematch. The Dodgers, the best record in the National League, facing off with the reigning champions, the Boston Red Sox. 8.5 back in the division, trying to make a charge as we roll into the second half. First pitch from Boston coming up. The ninth inning of the clinching Game 5 of the World Series at Dodger Stadium, striking out Manny Machado to bring home the World Championship for the Red Sox. No better feeling, no better memories than Chris Sale. Last time he saw the Dodgers uniform,
on the baseball field, striking out Machado. It's got to make him feel good to see that, and Red Sox fans everywhere to see that.
Reliving some of those good memories of that magical 2018 season. This has not been as smooth of a ride here in 2019, with the Red Sox at 50-41. Although they've won 5 straight, they're a season high 9 games above 500. And Peg, this is a very important weekend opening the second half.
Well, you open against the team, the best team, a lot of people say in all of baseball, definitely in the National League. They win the first one behind great pitching, timely hitting, a big win coming out on Friday. And now Saturday, we talked about it in the open. You have your ace. You have the guy you are counting on to go out and pitch and win these big games. And they win tonight. They win the series with the guy who's been their best starter, David Price, tomorrow.
And Sale and the Red Sox ready to go. Here he comes, and we take a look at our pitcher profile, sponsored by Sprint. Chris Sale, 17-18, his first 2 seasons in Boston, had the #1 earned run average in the American League at 2.5. He's got a career worst 404 this season, and one of the more remarkable numbers you'll find in baseball this year is their record in his starts. They are 6-12 when Chris Sale takes the mound.
And he hasn't won in Fenway a year, which is unbelievable for a pitcher of Chris Sale's stature in the game and his ability for him to go in his home ballpark to not have won that long. A lot of these numbers are 2.89 career ERA, 9-13, and every time you see Chris Sale pitch, after he has a bad outing, he is so frustrated and blames himself, which is a great trait, but at the same time, he has to find a way to turn that frustration into positivity.
Dodger lineup that he'll face off with tonight looks like this, with Chris Taylor to lead it off, then Justin Turner, and one of the guys you talked about coming back from the IL, David Freese, out of the 3 spot doing the DHing. Cody Bellinger making a great case for National League MVP. Another returnee from the IL, A.J. Pollock, out of the 5 spot. All-star Max Muncy hits 6th and starts at first base, with Seager, Hernandez, and Barnes rounding things out for Dave Roberts. Giant lead in the division for the Dodgers. 12.5 games. Best record in the National League, although they've dropped 4 straight, and the offense has been the biggest issue lately.
It has, but if the Dodgers are going to have a slide, why not have it around the All-Star break? They had such a big lead. They have such a big lead. Everyone looks forward to the All-Star break. They played 3 games against the Padres before the break, dropped them all, and then you got to travel cross-country to Boston to face a team in desperate need of win. So no one's worried about the Dodgers. We talked to Dave Roberts. None of the guys are worried about them. They just said, hey, it's part of baseball, up and down. Remember, they did lose 6 in a row already this year, but they bounced back just fine, so I expect them to do that today.
So Chris Sale ready to go for Boston at 50-41. Yankees lost earlier today to the Toronto Blue Jays, and so the deficit in the division is 8.5. They're a game back of the second wild card. Tampa Bay also lost earlier today. Part of a doubleheader. The play again tonight against the Orioles. As Chris Taylor climbs in, Chris Sale gets his signs from Sandy Leone. The wind, and off we go with a first pitch fastball for a strike to the outside corner. And a guy that has really been the Dodgers' best hitter over the last month, corresponding with Corey Seager going down with a hamstring injury in early June. That's a little bit high, and it's 1-1. And so you talk about Dave Roberts having to figure things out, how to find all these guys playing time. Chris Taylor is right at the top of the list of guys that he's got to find a way to get in there, with 3 pieces coming off of the IL.
Well, Seager going down allowed Chris Taylor to get regular playing time. It's a lot of times as a position player, when you get everyday at bats and you know you're getting these at bats, your numbers will spike because, hey, I don't have to worry about am I playing, am I not. The Dodgers are the masters of having guys that are okay not playing, but every player wants to play every day.
On a 2-1 pitch, that's outside and ball 3. And the Dodgers overall #1 in the National League in on-base percentage, #1 in slugging. And the thing that they've added to the offense that they were lacking in the 2 seasons losing the World Series, the ability to put the ball in play at a high level. Strikeouts way down. Full count.
Well, that's because the Dodgers lost the last 2 World Series to the Red Sox and the Astros, and both those teams put the ball in play more. So the Dodgers learned something from their opponents They're now trying to incorporate that into their own game.
Sale comes home with a payoff, and Taylor watches ball 4 off of the inside corner to start the night with a walk.
I think Chris Sale wanted this pitch. It is just off the plate inside, and the fact that Chris Taylor can even lay off of this is incredible. But Sale wants it. First hitter of the game. It's never good to see your starter screaming at the umpire.
And you, AJ, speak from a place with Chris Sale of very intimate experience. You caught his first 3 seasons in the majors in Chicago. As you watch him, what's been wrong this year?
Well, Chris Sale has always been effectively wild, we call it, where he misses inside the strike zone, but not always in, up, away. It was always uncomfortable at bat. This year, he's missing wider than normal.
First one to Justin Turner, in there for a strike.
And by wider, I mean their ball's out of his hand. Whereas before, because his stuff breaks and moves so much, you need to make the hitters have to think and make quick responses to what the pitch is. That's why his slider has been less effective. He hasn't been able to fine-tune into righties, especially to get that strike. We just saw it on ball 4 to Taylor. If he gets that call, then the slider, it opens up the slider, which is his best pitch.
Boy, tight zone so far from the young home plate umpire Brennan Miller.
Yeah, I don't feel for the umpire right now, because he's going to have Chris Sale yelling at him. He's going to have Sandy Leon barking at him. And he's going to have Alex Cora real quick barking at him from the dugout. But that's the pitch Chris Sale needs. If he gets that call, it opens up his entire repertoire of pitching.
It's a swing and a miss, 1-2. 30 years old out of Lakeland, Florida. 10th major league season now. His 3rd with the Red Sox. And of course signed that extension this spring that has him under control through 2024 with an option for 2025. And that long-term deal, another reason why folks are a little bit extra concerned watching the first few months of this year. That's inside, and it's 2-2 on Turner.
And we can see Chris Sale already trying to establish that ball into these right-handed hitters of the Dodgers. Just watch how many pitches he's already thrown into him, and he'll continue to throw, especially first time through the order.
Taylor at first with a leadoff walk, and now Sale to Turner with a 2-2. Got him swinging. And even with the struggles Chris Sale has had, he's still 2nd in the American League in strikeouts, 154 now.
This is the slider that makes Chris Sale so deadly. Not his best one, actually a little bit of a hanger. But because of the balls in that Turner couldn't catch up to, that slider coming into him, going down, he can't get his bat on.
1-on-1 out. Here's David Freese, who missed the final couple weeks of the first half with a hamstring injury. Dodgers acquired Freese at the end of August last year, and since he put on a Dodger uniform, he's been 3rd in the majors in on-base percentage. Takes it inside, ball 1. It goes Mike Trout, Christian Yelich, David Freese.
I don't think the Dodgers were expecting that kind of production. David Freese has always been a great player. World Series MVP. All kinds of great things he's done, but nobody in the Dodgers expected that kind of production.
Plan at the time was to platoon him with Cody Bellinger, which they did over the final 2 months last year. And brought him back on a new contract. Very important veteran piece for them. Taylor off to his lead as Sale comes home and gets a swing and a miss, 1-2.
This is the effectively wild I was talking about. See how Sandy Leon set up in and he missed out wide over the plate? But because of the velocity and Sale's angle he throws with, the hitter has to commit to that pitch so early. Even though it's not in the strike zone, you have to swing at it. Chris Sale has never been known as a pinpoint control. He's never going to be confused for Greg Maddux or Kyle Hendricks for the Cubs, where they can just take the ball and say, all right, I'm going to put it low and away. I'm going to put it up and in. He beats you with stuff, deception, and then probably the best left-handed slider in baseball. But he sets it all up because he sets up the righties, fastballs in, fastballs up, and then throws it out of the same plane with the slider to get the strikeouts.
Goes with a fastball to the inside corner to get Freese looking, and he's got back-to-back Ks here in the first. Continues to pound it in there.
Well, Chris Sale hasn't got this pitch called a strike the whole day. What does Sandy Leon do? He jumps up trying to pick the guy off at first, and he gets the call from the umpire. So might see him doing that more often.
2 out, and here's Cody Bellinger. Having a monster season. Second in the National League in average behind the Mets' Jeff McNeil. He's second in home runs behind Christian Yelich, and today celebrates his 24th birthday. Well, he sure has packed in a lot in just 2.5 major league seasons, hasn't he?
Whew. What a great rookie of the year. First year. Amazing numbers. A little bit of downturn last year. I mean, most guys would take his down year. And then this year, definitely the front runner for the National League MVP and continues to get better.
Oh, dribbler. Sale's got it. And not in time at first as Bellinger beats it out. One of the many reasons he's seen the numbers go up this season. A bunch of infield hits for Cody Bellinger. This one keeping this first inning alive.
Well, people forget that Cody Bellinger can absolutely fly on the baseball field, and he beats it clearly. Chris Sale just took a little bit too much time on the squibber off the end of Cody Bellinger's bat, but what an effort, and he gets rewarded with an infield knock.
Yeah, among other things, he is the fastest player on the Dodgers. And so that gets A.J. Pollock a first inning opportunity in a scoreless game. Pollock signed a 4-year contract with the Dodgers to be their everyday center fielder, and then in late April got an infection in his elbow and didn't return until last night. 2 on and 2 out. Cracks one over first into right for a base hit. Betts up with it. Here comes his throw home. It's up the line, and an RBI single for A.J. Pollock to open the scoring. But the Dodgers take advantage of Bellinger's 2-out infield single.
Great piece of hitting here by Pollock. It's a ball out over the plate and shoots it to right. Mookie Betts comes up firing. Just slips up the line a little bit. Sandy Leon unable to handle it for the first run for the Dodgers, but goes back to Cody Bellinger hustling down the line for the infield hit, and Chris Sale taking just a little bit too much time to get rid of the ball.
So first and third, 2 gone, and here's Muncy. Takes ball 1. A couple guys in the lineup for the Dodgers tonight that didn't face Chris Sale in the World Series last year because they were in platoons. Max Muncy, one of them. Cody Bellinger, another. But both those guys in the lineup just about every day at this point. Both among the best in baseball against left-handed pitching. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, you kind of touched on it, Joe. Now that Pollock, Freese, Seager are back, Dave Roberts has a nice juggling act to try to pull off, to try to keep Muncy, Bellinger, Peterson, Verdugo, Pollock all in the lineup, and all with regular enough at bats to keep them all going. And Dave Roberts told us today Muncy's going to be in there, Bellinger's going to be in there, and Pollock more than likely is going to be in there. So it's the other guys.
Good slider, 1 and 2.
This is Chris Sale, vintage slider. Muncy's knees got a little weak when he saw that come out of his hand. Starts at his head, ends up breaking out over the plate for a strike. That is a bad feeling as a hitter.
Heard left-handed hitters talk about his slider looking like it's coming from the second baseman. 2 on, 2 out, a 1-2 pitch. It's another slider, but Muncy takes this one.
And that take by Muncy is indicative of the Dodgers' approach. They do not swing at bad pitches. They've cut down on strikeouts like we already talked about, and they make the pitchers work, especially the starters, and they very rarely venture out of the strike zone.
Bellinger at third, Pollock at first. And on a 2-2, Max Muncy swings and misses to retire the side. But the Dodgers get the first run of the night. 1-0 to the bottom of the first. Here with Mookie Betts to lead things off, then Devers and Bogarts. Martinez, Benintendi, and Vasquez through the heart of the lineup. Brock Holt at second base. Sandy Leon does the catching, and Jackie Bradley Jr. out of the 9th spot in center field. Mookie Betts back into that leadoff role partway through the season. Offense is taken off. Tonight they face off with Ross Stripling, who started the season in the rotation, then into the bullpen for a couple months. This would be his 4th start since returning to the rotation with Rich Hill's injury. His first pitch tonight misses away, ball 1.
Well, Stripling got off to such a great start in the rotation for the Dodgers. He was pitching great. Made the All-Star team last year, as a matter of fact, for them. Went to the bullpen, and since he's come back, he's struggled a little bit because he's had a hard time with the consistency of the 4 pitches that he throws.
The differences based on starter or reliever. He was pretty darn good in that first stint out of the rotation. Had a sub-3 ERA. But in the 3 games here in his second stint in the rotation, he's given up 10 runs in 12 innings. Betts fouls it off, and it's 2-1.
And talking to the Dodgers and Dave Roberts before the game, he said he just needs to get back to throwing all 4 pitches. As coming out of the bullpen, you don't get a lot of times to use all 4. He has fastball, slider, curve, change. But as a starter, he gets the opportunity to use all of his pitches, and that's when he's most effective. Most relievers today have 2 pitches, a fastball and some kind of off speed, not 4 like Stripling has.
It's a swing and a miss, 2-2 on Betts. He started to look more like his 2018 MVP form recently, hitting .423 in the month of July. Devers and Bogarts to follow here in the first inning. Stripling home with a 2-2. Betts, look out, ball 3.
That's scary. That'll wake you up here at Fenway Park in the first inning. See the target and whew.
So now payoff and a pop fly into left center field. A.J. Pollock is there, and Betts is out number 1. Umpires for tonight's game. The crew chief is Jerry Davis. Behind the plate, Brennan Miller, just called up in April. In fact, he was the first call-up umpire this season. And you get to deal with the wrath of Chris Sale.
You already learned first hitter of the game.
Brought a little bit of that on himself, I think.
Yeah, but they don't yell at you like that in AAA.
Rafael Devers, what a season he's having. 22 years old. The snub when it comes to the All-Star game. I mean, you understand why Chapman and Bregman made the game, but Devers having an incredible year. Second in the league in average, second in slugging, and still just 22. Plays the bunt down, and he's got an infield hit.
Just a beautiful, beautiful job by Devers. People say, hey, why do guys not bunt against the shift more often? It's not, first of all, it's not easy to bunt, but if you can do it like this, and all he has to do is get it past the pitcher. The whole left side's open. As soon as that ball's by the pitcher, Seager kind of half tries, but he knows deep down he's not throwing it. An easy knock for Devers.
So last night he tried to bunt in the first inning and didn't work, bunted it foul, so he just homered. Tonight he tries again and lays it down successfully.
So you're saying the Dodgers are happy that he got the bunt out tonight?
Beats the ball flying over the monster from the Dodgers' perspective, I guess. Here's Bogaerts, hit his 18th home run last night. A lot like Devers, a breakout season for Bogaerts. You know, last year he really started to emerge as an offensive force, but taking it to a new level this year.
He has, and you said Devers was a snub for the All-Star team. Xander Bogaerts is having an incredible year, and I think he gets overlooked because he's in Boston and there's big names like Betts and Martinez, but the year he's having, he deserves some MVP consideration.
I think both those guys, right? Devers and Bogaerts. On a year where Betts and Martinez have been far from bad. They're having great seasons, just not quite what they did last year. These have been the Red Sox two best players.
Absolutely. And I think if you ask people inside the Red Sox clubhouse, they'll tell you that those two have been their best, most consistent, and their best players day in and day out.
Bogaerts 26 years old, All-Star for the second time. Takes strike three. Stripling drops a curveball to the knees for out number 2.
Breaking ball from Stripling, and Bogaerts very unhappy with the call. Thinks it's low, thinks it's outside. Has a couple words from Mr. Miller behind the plate. He's going to need earplugs here after the first inning.
Earplugs over a earbud, like in the Atlantic League the other night.
We're gonna ignore that.
Okay, you're not a fan, huh?
Well, we'll see how it goes.
Here's Martinez with 2 out. Swings away at the first pitch and pops it into the seats. If you're not familiar with that, Wednesday night, first time we've had an automated strike zone in the Atlantic League. Home plate umpire wore an earbud. Got the information delivered to his cell phone, which was in his pocket. Bluetooth connection to the earpiece, and did what the computer told him as far as calling the game.
They said it went slow. It was slow. It wasn't automatic. It wasn't a quick response. So they can speed it up, and it's right most of 99% of the time, 100% of the time. Then why not? It'll take away a lot of the arguing, though. So then if you can't argue replay calls and you can't argue out and safe on the bases, now you can't argue balls and strikes.
You would have had no place in this game.
No. Lou Piniella, Earl Weaver, Sparky Anderson, all these great managers come out, argue. No more.
Devers at first with a bunt single. Stripling home with an 0-1 that snaps off for strike 2. J.D. Martinez, who went 0 for 4 last night. Still, though, his last 10 games hitting above 400. Devers takes off on a fastball that misses up. They got him at second. Alex Cora saying hold on, let's take a look at this, but for now Austin Barnes has thrown out Devers. You'll get a look first.
Out.
That's pretty darn close.
It's close. I got him out. Crew chief on the call, Jerry Davis. They're not changing that.
Not convinced in the Red Sox dugout yet. And now they say play on. And this first inning comes to an end with the Dodgers in front 1-0. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Applebee's. Help fight childhood cancer with Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation. That is one of the many universities here in Boston, MIT. As Corey Seager swings and misses at the first Chris Sale pitch, and it's 0-1.
That's where you went, right, Joe? MIT?
Yeah, the MIT of the Midwest. Beloit College. Ball and a strike on Seager, who returned from the injured list last night after missing but a month with a hamstring injury. Of course, missed pretty much all of last season following Tommy John surgery. Bounces this one to first, and Christian Vasquez making his first career start there. Flips on to Sale for the first out.
And for Red Sox fans, they're like, wait, Christian Vasquez is our starting catcher. Why is he playing first? Well, they cannot keep his bat out of the lineup at the moment. He's got 15 home runs, more than he's ever hit in his career total. And Alex Cora said, we just need his bat in the lineup.
Who would have thought they'd reach that point?
Yeah.
With Christian Vasquez.
Well, the year he's having, we already talked about Bogart's, his under respect, and Devers' snub at the All-Star game. Well, Christian Vasquez, he was mad.
It's a ball on Kike Hernandez.
He was mad because his manager, Alex Cora, was the All-Star manager, and he didn't put him on the All-Star team. Not that he had choices, but he still wanted to make the All-Star team, and deservedly so.
And the reason that he's at first base tonight, not catching, Sandy Leon more or less is Chris Sale's personal catcher. Big difference in the numbers based on who's catching him. I know as a former catcher you have mixed emotions on that because you've been on both sides of that equation.
I have, and when you're the guy that when you're the catcher the pitcher wants to throw to, you're like, oh yeah, put me back there. And when you're the guy the pitcher doesn't want to throw to, you're like, oh, that's not true. That's not a thing. But a lot of guys believe it is. I think Greg Maddux kind of started it with Eddie Perez with the Braves. Instead of Javi Lopez, he would have Eddie Perez catch him. And I know I had John Lester in Boston that wanted to throw to David Ross. You fight it, but at the end of the day, it's the pitcher's decision who they want to throw to.
On a 2-2, Hernandez fouls it. We'll do it again. And especially when that pitcher is Chris Sale, you get what you want.
When it's the ace of the staff, you usually get to pick who. You can pretty much pick your lineup if you want. If you're Chris Sale, Clayton Kershaw, Justin Verlander, they can. Those guys at the top of ace pitchers, they can do whatever they want. And when you're, the funny part is when you're the catcher in that mix, the manager will always tell you, oh, I don't believe in personal catchers, but Chris Sale wants Sandy Leon to catch him. They try to make you feel like, oh, they still want you and I don't believe in this, but I'm just doing what the pitcher wants. But deep down, the manager has the ultimate decision. He can put you back there if he wants, but if his ace pitcher comes to you and says, hey, Chris Sale wants Sandy Leon, Christian Vasquez, guess what? You're going to first base.
Kike Hernandez broke his bat, had to go get a new one. How about if you're on the other end of that, though? Your manager telling you, hey, I'm a big personal catcher guy. I believe in you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David Ross made a career out of it for a long time with John Lester.
Hernandez tries to lay off and does, and the count goes full.
He did not go. Stopped.
Dodgers by a run, second inning. Here's a payoff pitch. Hernandez swings and misses at a back foot breaking ball. The Dodgers trying to snap this 4-game losing streak, but overall it has been a huge first half for the Dodgers. They went into the All-Star break with a 13.5-game lead. That is the third largest lead at the break ever. Starting pitchers have had a huge part of it. Cody Bellinger obviously as well with his breakout season. 30 home runs. And leading candidate for National League MVP right there with Christian Yelich.
The middle graphic is the thing for me. The pitching, the starting pitching for the Dodgers has been what has given them the lead that they have. Kershaw, Buehler, Ryu, Maeda, tonight Stripling. Those are the guys that have done it.
Other than 2 on Barnes.
Yes, Bellinger is probably the front runner for MVP, probably the best player going right now in the National League. But Rich Hill, you can throw him in the mix. He's had a great start. Now he's on the IL. But the starting pitching has been what has put the Dodgers in this position.
Sale to Barnes with an 0-2. He takes it low, and it's 1-2. And the opposite can be said for the Red Sox, where they expected the starting rotation to be one of their biggest strengths. It has not been. On 1-2, Barnes cracks his bat and a foul.
I'm with you, Joe. I thought he broke his bat. He didn't even check it.
I was going to say, yeah. He's confident it's still one piece.
Either that or he saw how far Kike had to walk back to the dugout, and he just doesn't want to walk that far.
Not worth it. How about that guy last night? Eduardo Rodriguez, 10 Ks over 7 innings. A little bit high on Barnes to even the count 2-2.
And how much praise did Dave Roberts give him today when we met with him about how good Eduardo Rodriguez was? And another pitch Chris Sale wants as a strike, probably a little high. Some catcher love.
Already 40 pitches thrown by Chris Sale, over 1 2/3. Seventh pitch to Barnes.
And Austin Barnes might not get a hit in this at bat, but it's a productive at bat. At least 8 pitches to be seen. Run the starter's pitch count up and get to the Boston bullpen. That has been a struggle at times.
And one of the reasons it has been a struggle is how short the starts have consistently been. Sale already about 40 pitches here in the second. Home with another 2-2, and it goes full on Barnes.
And that 2-2 pitch is the frustration pitch from Chris Sale. He gets mad. He's like, I just want to put this guy away. So he rears back a little bit, throws it just a little bit harder. And this is a ball right out of his hand. Watch Barnes. He barely even flinches at 97. Because why? It's a ball right away. He knows, stop.
Gets him swinging here. He's got 5 Ks through 2, but he's had to burn a lot of bullets already. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Budweiser. Join the team that enjoys responsibly. Budweiser reminds you to drink wiser. 87 degrees in Boston. Beautiful Saturday night. Dodgers ahead 1-0. And a 2-out RBI hit from A.J. Pollock in the first. J.D. Martinez was at the plate when the first inning ended for Boston, with Rafael Devers getting caught trying to steal. That takes ball 1 from Stripling.
And people ask you, oh, Devers got thrown out. Stealing J.D. Martinez at the plate, bad play. 2 strikes on him. Trying to get into scoring position, so it takes a single to drive him in. And now, by getting thrown out, J.D. Martinez gets to reset the at-bat and start over.
And for Martinez, very similar to Mookie Betts, if you ask Alex Cora, where it's like they're an all-star. They've got numbers that 9 guys out of 10 would kill to have, but 2 guys very hard on themselves, continuing to tinker and continuing to say that they don't feel quite right yet. And they set such high bars for themselves last year. That's in the air to right for Cody Bellinger. And Martinez the first out. Let's go down to Ken Rosenthal.
Well, Joe, this is the 4th straight season Ross Stripling has alternated between the rotation and the bullpen with the Dodgers. He said the lack of consistency used to bug him 2016, 2017, but he has since developed separate routines for both roles. That's given him a greater comfort level. He sort of views himself as the Kike Hernandez or Chris Taylor of the pitching staff, knowing the Dodgers value that kind of versatility. He told me, I've kind of accepted that's what they like about me.
Here comes Andrew Benintendi, and a tie ball 1. There are several position player examples of that on this Dodgers team, where they've kind of had to embrace roles that are smaller than the roles they'd have on other teams. But it's become the culture that Dave Roberts has instilled. Benintendi grounds one to first for Max Muncy, and 2 up and 2 down.
Well, if you're on this Dodgers team, you better accept the fact that most of the time you're going to platoon if your name's not Bellinger, Turner, or Muncy at this point. And for Ross Stripling, he's embracing the fact that, hey, I might start one day, I might relieve the next day, I might start the next time through. So Dave Roberts has done a good job of communication with all these guys. They don't always accept it, I'm sure, but he does a great job of getting his message to them, and he says they've all taken it greatly and are all happy just to be here.
In a 1-0 game in the second, here's Vasquez. We mentioned starting at first base tonight for the first time in his career. He takes ball 1. Finished that epic Game 3 of the World Series last year at first base, and then played an inning there earlier this season. Alex Cora says he's got the best hands on the team. He's played a couple other spots in the infield, and he feels just fine with him at first, especially when it means getting his bat in there.
Played second this year already. Loved it. Had a great time. So,
and an infield background for him coming up in Puerto Rico.
Originally signed as a third baseman. They converted him to catcher after he was in the Red Sox organization.
He's had 2-1.
And he's changed his approach. He used to be a guy, Christian Vasquez, that was just looking for a ball out over the plate that he could poke to right, accept a single to right field. But now, Alex Cora said he's going up there looking to do major damage, get the ball, put his A swing on a pitch. He's always had a good eye. He's always taken walks. But now he's doing damage because he's trying to do damage instead of accepting a single to right.
2 balls, 2 strikes. First 4 seasons, AJ, he had 10 home runs total. He's got 15 this year. Hit one last night. He's got 8 in his last 21 games.
And he's hitting 300.
Right.
Which is amazing. OPS of almost 900. It's at 870 right now. I mean, just a remarkable turnaround for Christian Vasquez from an offensive. He's always been able to catch and throw, but from an offensive standpoint, I don't think the Red Sox ever foresaw this coming.
2-2. Got him swinging with a fastball, and Ross Stripling with a 1-2-3 second. Right back after a word from our local sponsors. Back in Boston for the third inning. Dodgers ahead of the Red Sox 1-0. Joe Davis, A.J. Pierzynski, Ken Rosenthal. Chris Sale back to the mound facing the top of the order, and Chris Taylor. Now, one of the spots the Red Sox are going to have to be a lot better in the second half is playing in this ballpark. They won almost 75% of their games here last year. They're just a game above 500 at Fenway this year.
That's very un-Red Sox-like. They usually dominate. Dominate here at home every time. As a player, you came here, you're like, oof, we got a 3-game series. Let's hope we can get 1 game out of this. If we win this series, it's like winning 2 or 3 series in so many other places, just because of the uniqueness of Fenway Park, the atmosphere, and plus usually the Red Sox have pretty good teams.
Yeah, that know how to play in this ballpark, that know how to play to the quirks of the ballpark. Yeah, so a few different things you can look at that have been different for the Red Sox this season. What they've done in this ballpark, one of them. One of the shocking things is that they've struggled so badly against the good teams. Right, I guess it's not that shocking when you consider the full body of work, but the fact that it's pretty much the same group that won 108 games last year, 7 games below 500 against teams 500 or better.
And in the AL East, division they dominated last year. To be where they are, that's why they are where they are in the standings. That's why the Yankees are where they are in the standings. If you want to win your division in today's baseball, you have got to win the games in your division. It sounds so crazy, but you play so many games with the unbalanced schedule in your division. You have got to win those games, especially against the lesser teams in the AL East, Baltimore, Toronto. You've got to win those. The Yankees are 30-10 in their division, and there's the difference in this division right now.
A little delay here. Chris Taylor is stepping out, taking a peek at a fan. That ball just cleared the netting and hit a fan. Another 2-2 pitch and another foul ball. Oh, the Red Sox talking about playing in the division, trying to be better against teams from the American League East. They're going to have a nice little run here to change their fortunes, because beginning Monday they have 21 in a row against in-division opponents. That includes a bunch against the Yankees and Rays. It's what you want if you got a big deficit, right? You got to face teams that you're chasing.
When you're 8.5 behind the leaders, you get 21 in a row. So 3 straight weeks in your division. Red Sox get on a roll. They get 14-7, 13-8, something like that. They can get right back into this race.
Taylor making Sale work. 9th pitch. Shot to first. Caught by Vasquez. The 1 gone, and up comes Justin Turner. Struck out his first time, one of the 5 for Chris Sale, once through the lineup. Turner goes after the first pitch and hammers the ball to left, and gone. Ambushing Chris Sale and launching a home run to make it 2-0. Eleventh of the season for Justin Turner. And the Dodgers have a 2-0 lead in the 3rd.
Well, how do you avoid striking out? You ambush Chris Sale on the first pitch, and Justin Turner gets the bat head extended, hits one over the green monster for a 2-0 Dodger lead.
Now the power numbers down for Justin Turner from where they've been in recent seasons, but it is another very consistent year in terms of average and on-base percentage. That's a strikeout freeze, and it's 1-1. He has been one of the best hitters in the National League since the Dodgers got him 5 years ago.
He has. He's improved immensely. Power, average, everything. As soon as he put on that Dodger blue, it's like he became a different player. I don't know if he got. I know he went and got some different hitting tips from a guy out in Los Angeles, California area. He incorporated a leg kick, which he hadn't had when he was with the Mets. But as soon as he put on the Dodger blue, he became a threat.
Had he not signed with the Dodgers, his plan was to sign with the Boston Red Sox. But at the last minute, the Dodgers came calling, said they had a minor league contract for him, and decided to take that and play for his hometown team. Backdoor to get Freese looking. Number 6 for Sale as we look back at the home run from Turner.
For Sale, right down the middle. 91, kind of a BP fastball. And a great angle, 4D. Watch how the bat is bent, gets it out in front, launches it over the green monster, and the fans kind of shied away from it.
Bellinger swings at the first pitch, knifes one to third, got an infield single his first time, and so Devers knew he had to hurry. Got it over there in time to get Bellinger. Turner's home run makes it 2-0 Los Angeles. Justin Turner's home run has the Dodgers in front 2-0 to the bottom of the third. The bottom third of the Red Sox lineup against Ross Stripling. Brock Holt swings away and bangs a base hit into right center. So on the first pitch of the third, Holt with a base hit.
And Brock Holt should swing at the first pitch all the time because he absolutely mashes the first pitch when he swings at it. 5 for 8 on the season, 1 homer.
He sure has been good since coming back.
Well, he's just a good player. Brock Holt, he would fit in with the Dodgers perfectly. Can play anywhere, can play the infield, play the outfield, bats left-handed, can run. He's just a valuable player no matter where you put him, and he's good at all the positions he plays.
Red Sox fans are saying, back off, he's ours.
Yes. And they are happy to have him.
Sandy Leon to the plate. You know, Holt this season, as Red Sox fans are familiar with, he started the season 1 for 16 and then got poked in the eye by his 2-year-old son and had to go on the injured list. While he was waiting for the eye to heal, his shoulders started to bother him again, and so missed pretty much all of April and May. He's hitting above 360 since coming back. It's ball 1 on Leon. Again, offense has not been the issue. Red Sox statistically even better than last season offensively, and especially good the last couple weeks. That's a breaking ball that lands for a strike, 1-1. I mean, how about 8 runs per game over the last 10?
That usually leads to a really good record, and you're gaining spots in the standings. But I think the Red Sox and everyone you talk to within the Red Sox, when they hit, they don't pitch, and when they pitch, they don't hit. So it's been a mismatched season for them so far. But I still believe they have a run in them somehow, some way. They're going to get hot. Betts is going to get hotter than he's been. Martinez is going to get hot. Bradley's been hot. Vasquez has been hot. So they're pitch. Chris Sale's not going to pitch like this the entire year, like he did to start the season.
They would hope the same for Rick Porcello. He's going to be better than he was in the first half. It's grounded foul. Encouraging stuff from Eduardo Rodriguez last night.
David Price has been great.
Most consistent guy. He'll go tomorrow night for Boston.
Think about the Dodgers after. As a fan throws a ball onto the field, he didn't want that foul ball apparently. Tom Goodwin, the first base coach, threw it into the stands, and whoever caught it didn't like it. Chucked it out in the outfield. Think about the Dodgers. They fly cross country to Boston from LA, and you get Rodriguez, Sale, and Price. It's a tough way to open up your second half.
Hold it first, nobody out. Stripling to Leon with another 1-2. Got him swinging with a changeup. We're talking about the Red Sox hoping for some of the current members of the staff to improve in the second half. They're also being proactive, making a move today, Ken Rosenthal.
Joe, they are. Typical Dave Dombrowski move. Aggressive early. He acquires Andrew Cashner from the Orioles for a couple of minor leaguers. There's some cash coming to the Red Sox in the deal as well. Cashner they view as an upgrade over their current 5th starter options. That's been a problem for them. Remember, they've got Nathan Eovaldi coming back in about a week from elbow surgery. He will serve as the closer. So they upgrade their rotation, and then in a week, they upgrade their bullpen as well.
Jackie Bradley Jr. with 1 gone takes strike 1. I mean, Cashner having a pretty darn good year, especially on a team where they get a whole lot of run support. He's gone 9-3. His ERA is below 4 overall, and since June 1st, his ERA is 1.41.
Well, the Orioles have 11 wins when Cashner pitches. They have 17 when anyone else starts a game for him. They have 28 wins. He has 11 of them when he starts. So people might say, why Andrew Cashner? He's having a really good year for the, and he's proving he can pitch in the AL East against the Yankees, against the Red Sox, against the Rays. He's not doing this far away. He's coming in his division to try to help the Red Sox get back to the World Series again.
And how much do you love it if you're Andrew Cashner going from the Orioles right into the race with the Red Sox?
Well, we talked about expectations and how things, when you get put on a Red Sox uniform, the expectations automatically go up. When you go from Baltimore, who's the worst record in the American League, to Boston, who's trying to repeat his World Series, your expectations just went from 0 to 100 as soon as that phone call was made to Andrew Cashner.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Kenny
keep in mind, too, guys, that they don't need Cashner to be a top-of-the-rotation guy. They didn't want to pay the price for a top-of-the-rotation guy. They've got 4 good starters when healthy: Porcello, Rodriguez, Sale, and Price. So the way they see it, maybe he'll be in their postseason bullpen if they make it and the other starters are healthy. And if not, he's a potential free agent at the end of the year. It's a worthwhile risk.
Tripling home with a 1-2. Bradley hits it hard on the ground, right to Turner, who is shifted over there. But Bradley beats it out. And a fielder's choice.
So the acquisition of Andrew Cashner, that means Nathan Eovaldi, when he comes back, is going to slot into the bullpen. And preferably, I believe, is their closer, according to Alex Cora, because they can manage his innings, manage his usage as a closer better than they can if they put him into a 7th, 8th inning kind of hybrid role.
And they need him now. And
yes,
if you're thinking about him as a starter, it would take too long, given the context where they are in the standings, take too long for him to get built up to help in that role. Top of the order, Mookie Betts. First pitch breaking ball for a strike.
And plus, he's pitched out of the bullpen before. He did it in the World Series last year. And his stuff profiles as starter, but it definitely profiles as a late inning reliever because of the high velocity, the split, and the cutter that he can throw to come in and get anybody out, righties or lefties.
Betts fly to center his first time here on 0-1. Pops it back, and it's 0-2.
But we mentioned the Dodgers getting Pollock and Freese and Seager back. Well, Nathan Eovaldi comes back for the Red Sox. That's another trade acquisition they're going to get, and a shot in the arm the Red Sox are going to get, and just another weapon for Alex Cora to use.
Well, good stuff so far tonight for Ross Stripling, who is an ERA near 9 in his last 3 starts since moving back into the rotation, and has had his issues getting deep into those games, averaging 4 innings per start, but at just 36 pitches here with 2 gone in the 3rd. Bradley gets a great jump, pitches up and away, and no chance for Austin Barnes.
Jackie Bradley Jr. has been itching to go, and he guesses right. He just didn't trust himself. He got such a good jump. Sometimes as a base runner, you get such a good jump, you can't believe that they can't see you. It's like they don't see me. What am I wearing? Camouflage. But I mean, he could have made it standing up without a throw, but because of the hesitation, he still makes it easily. Austin Barnes, no chance.
Well, it turns into an RBI chance for Betts. 2-0 game, bottom 3. Stripling's 1-2. Taken up and in, 2-2. This is where Ross Stripling has been really tough this year. The higher the leverage, the better he's been. Opponents with runners in scoring position at 128. Facing a lineup, though, that has been especially good in these situations for the last month. Bradley at second. Here comes a 2-2. Full count. This is how you average about 8 runs per game during this stretch. 352 over the last almost month with men in scoring position.
And that's over a month. That's not a small sample size. A month long. That means everybody's getting hits in these situations. And Alex Cora said that's the one thing they need to be more consistent with, is their bats and getting hits with runners in scoring position. For the last month, they've been doing it.
Bradley off of second with 2 gone. A 3-2. Betts swings and launches it foul. What a view. What a seat. What a park.
Have you ever been out there?
No.
On top of the monster?
No, it's something I need to do.
You do?
I guess it's kind of ridiculous to have been here a bunch and not made a trip out there. Another payoff pitch. That somehow gets his bat on it to stay alive. He's very tough to strike out. More walks than Ks this season. One of just a small handful of players that can say that.
That's why he's the reigning American League MVP, because of swings like that where he, excuse me, but he gets just enough of it to stay alive, to live to fight another pitch. But yeah, Joe, you got to get out there. You got to. Have you signed inside the monster?
I don't think they want me to do that.
Of course they do. You just got to go in there, check it out, and then you got to go up there and just look down. Realize how high it is up there. It's a great view. That guy has a better view.
Yes. Yeah. Hard to beat that seat. Can't get that on StubHub. Another 3-2 and a pinpoint fastball for Ross Stripling to get Mookie Betts looking, straining a man at second. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Gillette, the best a man can get. And by Hankook Tire. Chase down your passion, never halfway. Gorgeous night in Boston. To the middle innings we go. The Dodgers in front 2-0. And A.J. Pollock to lead this inning off against Chris Sale. First pitch slider cut on and miss, 0-1.
Major difference first time versus second time through the lineup for Sale. First time through, attacking all the Dodgers with fastball, fastball, fastballs. We saw Justin Turner make the adjustment his second at bat. But other than Justin Turner, he started almost all of these hitters out the second time through with off speed and/or breaking balls.
Selfie.
Joe, you can go out there and get your photo taken with Wally.
Yeah. 2-1 on Pollock, and for more on Chris Sale, we go down to Ken.
I talked with a Red Sox official this morning, guys, and I asked him, what do we look for tonight with Sale? And he said, more swings and misses. Too many foul balls lately. Well, Sale has the 8th highest swing and miss percentage in baseball. He's got 13 already tonight, but 11 foul balls as well. The Dodgers are a tough team. They grind out at bats, but there's another one off Chris Sale.
That was a dangerous one right there. That almost took out the whole Dodgers dugout. That guy's ducking for cover. Austin Barnes left his gear on in case he gets hit.
Did it hit Corey Seager?
If it did, Corey Seager's in there going, geez, haven't I had enough awkward injuries? I don't need another one. Guy on my own team hit me.
And you should know, A.J. Pollock. You're on the IL with me. Full count.
Well, that's been the history of Chris Sale. For a guy that has so many strikeouts, he usually does it efficiently. And like Ken said, this year it hasn't been done as efficiently because there's more foul balls, which lead to more pitches, which leads to shorter starts, and then more stress on the Red Sox bullpen.
Perfect pitch to the inside corner to get him one gone.
Joe, you said it, just a perfect pitch. The pitch Chris Sale wanted in the first inning, that was called a ball. He gets it right there to punch out Pollock.
So that's 7 Ks for Sale as Max Muncy comes up. One of those strikeout victims. Guy that went from release by the Oakland A's to a National League All-Star in the span of about 2.5 years. It's a strike over the inside corner. It's something the Dodgers have gotten a great reputation for, and that is uncovering some of these hidden gems and turning them into not just major leaguers, but stars.
Turner, we talked about Justin Turner.
Chris Taylor.
Max Muncy. I don't know what's in the water. Andrew Friedman, whether it's him, whether it's their development people, their scouts, Dave Roberts, whoever it is, somebody sees something in some guys, and as soon as they put that Dodger blue on, they figure a lot of things out.
Muncy fouls it back 1-2. Dodgers looking for their 7th consecutive division title. Although people around LA kind of beginning to roll their eyes about that. Yes, the division title's nice, but they're hoping for their first world championship since 1988.
It's World Series or bust, and World Series champions, not just World Series. They've been there twice in a row and lost. It's World Series champions or bust.
A lot of Dodger blue here tonight. Muncy yanks one to right, down the line. It'll drop in for a base hit. First hit of the series from Muncy comes here with 1 gone in the 4th. And the MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to your favorite ballpark. You can buy and manage game tickets, redeem special check-in offers, access exclusive content, and plenty more. So download the app today. Dodgers 2, Red Sox nothing, and here's Corey Seager, who seems to be just fine, even if he did take that foul ball. Goes after the first one. That is a fair ball. Vasquez calmly to second. And, whoa, not quite as calm on that end of it, but he's able to get the foot in there before Seager to end the inning. The ball tends to find you when you play at a spot you're not used to, doesn't it?
Nice play by Vasquez. Seager thought it was foul along with everybody else. Nice recovery, and it's there just in time.
Finish off the Dodger half of the fourth inning. Looked like he thought the ball was foul. That's why Christian Vasquez had all day to get his foot to the bat.
Stop, start, stop, start. For a guy coming off a hamstring injury, you don't want to be doing all the stops and starts. I love in the middle of it, he's like, what?
Yeah, a couple times. Devers starts the fourth for Boston and fouls off the first offering from Ross Stripling. Only 2 hits for Boston so far. Devers has one of them, a bunt single in the first. Ground ball to first, and Muncy to the bag. Next Saturday, one of the greatest fighters of our generation puts his legacy on the line. Manny Pacquiao battles undefeated world champion Keith Thurman in the can't-miss fight of the summer. Next Saturday, 9 Eastern, live on pay-per-view or order on the Fox Sports app. One gone here in the fourth, and here's Bogaerts. First 5 seasons in the majors for Bogaerts. Very good player. He was an all-star in 2016. But shifted philosophy as far as what he's trying to do at the plate and has grown into one of the top offensive shortstops in the game. He always saw himself as more of a singles hitter, but now tries to do more damage, consciously trying to hit the ball to the gap. And he's top 5 in the American League this year in OPS. Trout, J.D. Martinez, Mookie Betts, Alex Bregman, and then it's Bogaerts. Lifts the ball to left towards the monster, and he's done it again. Off of the light standard for a solo shot. Number 19 of the season for Xander Bogaerts in a 2-1 game in the fourth. Already within 4 home runs of the career high that he set last year.
Well, you talked about him doing more damage. Curveball by Stripling that just stays up in the zone.
Martinez now, that's foul.
Bogaerts does what any good hitter's supposed to do. He deposits over the left field wall, the green monster, up off the light standard.
His 3rd home run in his last 11 at-bats. Second one in this series. It's got the Red Sox on the board against Ross Stripling, who fires in 0-1.
You talked about the damage and the difference. Facing Xander Bogaerts, the book always was, don't elevate the ball for him. If you throw him down in the zone, he'll hit ground balls. If you throw him up, that's when he does the damage. But what he's changed is now no matter where you throw him, he's elevating the ball, and that's where the home runs are coming from. People talk launch angle. He's just trying to elevate the ball more. I remember playing him when I was with Texas, and Mike Maddox, our pitching coach, was like, don't do the work for Xander Bogaerts. Make him elevate the ball himself, which he had a hard time doing. But now this year and last year, he's definitely figured out how to get the ball in the air for home runs. 23
home runs a year ago, 19 this season already. That's a fastball to get Martinez looking. 2 out. We look back at the home run from Bogaerts.
This is a hanging breaking ball. See, Bogey knows it right away. But that's a ball you're supposed to elevate. Stripling knew it right away. This ball goes way up the light standard.
Oosh.
Over the AAA sign out into the parking lot. Hope your car's not out there, Joe.
Nope. Safe.
If they do call AAA, there's a big billboard. Right?
That's true.
And over.
Andrew Benintendi with 2 gone takes change up for ball 1. And Benintendi's another guy who set a very high bar, not just with what he did over his first couple seasons, but with his prospect status coming up. He's considered one of the top prospects in all of baseball before he debuted in 2017. You hear all about it being an awful season, and then you look at the full body of work, and the numbers are pretty darn good.
They're not terrible. 270, 7 homers, 38 RBIs. It's just they put him in that leadoff spot. And they said, hey, go be our leadoff hitter. They tried to move Mookie Betts down, and when he was in the leadoff spot, he was awful.
And Alex Cora has said that that was a mistake. But leading off games, Andrew Benintendi was 3 for 37.
That's not getting the game started the way the Red Sox won. That is, I mean, it's because he's such a good hitter. 3 for 37.
And Betts had been such a huge part of the offense out of that role last year. Alex Cora finally said, okay, enough is enough. Going back to what produced a lot of that magic last year.
But they wanted Betts to hit more down farther in the lineup to drive in more runs, have the opportunity to drive in more runs. So they're like, we'll try Benintendi. Didn't work, so they go back to the tried and true, which is Betts is the leadoff guy. And since they put him in the leadoff spot, the offense has taken off again.
Kind of an up and down season for him. 25 years old, just celebrated his birthday last week. Celebrated it with a 4-hit game. He's down on strikes here to finish off the 4th. For the Red Sox on the board, Xander Bogaerts continues his monster season with his 19th home run. Solo shot from Xander Bogaerts has the Red Sox on the board. 2-1 to the 5th, and Kike Hernandez out in front of the first one from Chris Sale. What do you thought of Sale through 4 innings tonight?
After the first inning, he kind of had he gave up the hit for the RBI, made one mistake to Turner. He's been good, but again, it's the same story. High pitch count, high strikeout total, a lot of foul balls. He's been just a bit off, like a tick off. It's weird but his velocity was there early. It's dropped down almost 5 miles an hour since the first couple innings.
Hernandez grounds a base hit into left to open the 5th. One of the most intense rivalries in MLS is tomorrow on FS1. New York Red Bulls and NYC FC. Hudson River Derby kicking off his 6:30 Eastern on FS1. Leadoff man aboard, and here's Austin Barnes.
I think it's what we were talking about Chris Sale. I think it's what the Red Sox have seen and talked about all year with him. His stuff is there. His velocity is there. He's just not quite as efficient and quite as good. He's still good for a major league pitcher, but Chris Sale has set the bar so high that if he is just a little bit off, everyone's like, oh my gosh, what is wrong with Chris Sale?
And the other thing is that he's shown flashes this season of being the guy that he's always been. You know, he was really bad early on after a slow build up during spring training. But then he had a stretch over a couple months where he was as good as anybody. It's inside and actually clips Barnes, and the first two have reached. 8 and 9 in the Dodger order. Two guys that are in the bottom 10 in the National League in terms of on-base percentage, both reach against Sale.
That is the back foot slider from Chris Sale.
The literal one.
That was a back knee slider. Trying to get the swing out of Barnes, but didn't get it. Instead got another base runner, but up and down. We showed Benintendi. That looks like Benintendi's numbers on the plate for Chris Sale.
I mean, in that middle stretch there, he had a 17 strikeout game.
That was
a complete game 3-hit shutout.
The 17 strikeout was the game he was begging to go back out to try to get 20.
Taylor takes a strike. Yeah, so it looked like he had kind of figured it out, gotten to where they expected him to. But his final 3 starts before the All-Star break, the ERA was north of 7. That included a game against Toronto. He gave up 5 runs on 9 hits, including 3 home runs to finish the first half. And he is very, very hard on himself. Called it embarrassing. 2 on, nobody out. Chris Taylor launches a ball to right center field. Jackie Bradley moves over to the gap to put it away. Hernandez takes third, and they're at the corners with 1 gone. Brings up Justin Turner. Went after the first pitch his last time up. Hit a home run. Here it is on StatCast, powered by AWS.
Exit velo 103 in the perfect launch angle, right at 28 degrees, 379 feet, and yes, it would be a homer in all 30 parks. I love the tracer. It's like when you're watching golf and you see the guys hit the drive and you see the tracer. It's so cool.
Or the old glow puck. RBI chance for Turner here. He again goes after the first pitch. This one's foul.
The home run was a first pitch fastball from Chris Sale, 91. That one was 94, and it beat Justin Turner because of the last at bat, 91 to 94, just enough instead of a home run, foul ball.
Very high first pitch strike rate. Dodgers understanding that, understanding, like you said, how difficult it gets once you get behind in the count against him. Continuing to be aggressive. First and third, 1 gone. Sale's 0-1. Turner tries to check his swing and does. 1-1.
Another good check by Justin Turner.
Sale, who is at 80 pitches, fires a 1-1. Turner clips it foul, 1-2.
Little frustration right there from Justin Turner. Feels like he's already gotten 2 pitches he could have done damage with. Drove in Kike Hernandez from third. Fouled off the first one at 94, and then he gets this one middle in. Just gets beat by it.
Those are the ones ultimately that keep you up at night, aren't they?
Those are the ones you go home and say, oh, I hit a home run. I could have done so much more in this game.
Yeah. Sales 1-2.
You never remember the bloop hits you get. You always remember, it seems like, the ones you missed. The foul balls in big situations. the strikeouts in big situations. Those are what I always feel like you remember as a hitter. Yes, you remember the home runs, but it's the ones that got away that just eat you alive at night.
It's kind of human nature, isn't it? In any job, any walk of life. Turner towards the left field corner. That's a base hit up against the monster. Hernandez in to score. Turner to second with an RBI double. He's driven in 2 tonight. The Dodgers lead at 3-1.
Slider from Chris Sale just doesn't get down. It doesn't get in far enough. Justin Turner just drops the head in there, bangs it off the green monster. RBI double. Give the Dodgers back their 2-run lead.
Still just 1 out. David Freese comes up against a drawn-in infield.
Interesting right here, Joe. You got David Freese up, who's punched out twice. Daniel Levange's going out there saying, I know we got a lefty on deck, but that lefty's Cody Bellinger. And he's hit 2 balls that haven't gone 100 feet combined. What do? You go after Freese, right?
Yeah, I don't think you can intentionally choose to face Cody Bellinger with the bases loaded.
That is Chris Sale out there.
Yeah.
Left on left, tough matchup. Bellinger again hasn't had 2 great swings.
With Embry warming. But like you said, I mean, David Freese, he struck out both times. So.
But David Freese has killed lefties his entire. He's in the lineup to hit lefties.
And has hit Chris Sale coming into the game. He's 4 for 7 lifetime against him. Bats with Barnes at third and Turner at second. Inside, ball 1.
Another part of that meeting that gets overlooked is Daniel Levange, the pitching coach, goes out there and says you can pitch from the windup. A lot of pitchers will say, hey, stretch your windup, and he went out there and said, Chris Sale, you can go from the windup if you're more comfortable, and that's what Chris Sale elected to do.
Yeah, this year a little more balance for David Freese, but this is why he was acquired by the Dodgers. Faced tough left-handed pitching. What a career he's had. I mentioned the World Series MVP with the Cardinals in 2011. Always been a good postseason performer. Big hits for the Dodgers last postseason.
And David Freese from St. Louis, winning the World Series MVP in his hometown. Huge home run in Game 6 of that series.
One of the greatest games ever.
Yes, and I was there. We were there with Fox doing the game, and the 20th. One of the coolest things was that was the 20th anniversary of the Kirby Puckett home run that Jack Buck called the Twins, and David Freese hit the home run that same night for the Cardinals, and Joe Buck was there. And before the game, we said, hey, if someone hits a walk-off homer, we've got to get them. We'll see you tomorrow night. When David Freese hit the home run, first thing out of Joe Buck, just like his father, was, we'll see you tomorrow night.
Classic. One of many. Little bit inside. Freese ahead 2-1. Chris Sale, as this night goes on, AJ's got to be thinking, you know what? I'm having a hard enough time feeling good this year. I got this rookie umpire who's squeezing me now.
Sandy Leone is just back there letting him have it. Alex Cora's letting him have it from the dugout, and it started the first hitter of the game and hasn't stopped. Chris Sale wants that inside corner, and he has not gotten it at all consistently.
Now he's got to battle back from behind. He gets this one fouled back, and the count evens 2-2 on Freese.
So remember the frustration we showed on Justin Turner before he hit the double, missing the 2 pitches. That's the same look David Freese just had. He's got 2 fastballs, 1-0 and 2-1, that he thinks, hey, I can drive him in, and he's fouled them off both times. So now we'll see. Turner recovered, hit a double and a slider. See what Freese can do right here.
Sale hunting an 8th strikeout. Second and third one gone. Here he comes with the 2-2. He comes in with a fastball, and it's raked by the bag foul.
Chris Sale isn't going to quit. He's one of the most competitive, one of the best teammates I've ever played with, and he won't quit. He'll figure this out. Yeah, he's frustrated, but that guy will compete until he has no more breath left in his body. He will not stop out there for the Red Sox. And you can see the frustration. You can hear when he talks after a bad outing, the frustration, but this guy will not stop trying to figure it out.
Delivers 2-2. Freese yanks a fair ball down the line. He tried to come inside again. Freese made the adjustment and drove home 2 with a double. Dodgers lead at 5-1.
Interesting pitch call. All fastballs to David Freese. All of them inside. And finally, Freese gets the head out, gets the one he likes, and rips it down the left field line for a double. But man, after the at-bat by Turner, which he'd had him to 2 strikes, tried the slider. Did Justin Turner's at-bat affect the at-bat for David Freese, scare Chris Sale away from throwing a slider?
Man, rarely do you see guys miss pitches against pitchers like Chris Sale and then still wind up delivering later in the at-bat.
You're right. Normally he puts them away the next pitch, but Freese fouled off one. Then he got another one a little bit more on the plate and ripped it for a double. Turner, same thing. Got a slider, ripped it down the left field line for a double.
And now it's Bellinger, takes ball 1. Be interesting to hear what kind of reception Chris Sale gets if he is pulled out in the middle of this inning. That one all the way to the backstop. You're starting to hear a little bit of noise from this crowd even before there's a change.
Well, David Freese's second thought it hit Bellinger. He didn't even move. Everyone reacted like it was a wild pitch except for David Freese's second.
Look out.
I don't know how it didn't hit him.
You used to fear for the hitters when you were catching Sale when you knew that he was angry, right?
When Sale would get angry and lefty was coming up, you were like, I feel sorry for you. Because the first one would be 100 miles an hour.
Bellinger to right center field. Mookie Betts makes the catch. Freese headed for third, 2 gone.
And normally it would be up and into a lefty or inside to a lefty. And it wasn't that he was trying to throw at the guy. It was just he would get so mad and get out of his mechanics. And there was always trying to throw a slider to save the left-handed hitter's life.
Here comes Alex Cora. And let's listen to the way Fenway sends off Chris Sale. A little bit mixed. Still hopeful that he can turn it around. Tonight wasn't his night. 5-1 Dodgers in the 5th. One in the 5th inning. Book not completely closed on Chris Sale, but he's allowed 5 runs over the 4 2/3 that he goes, and the man at third his responsibility as well. It's the first time in Chris Sale's career that he's given up 5 or more runs in 3 consecutive starts. Hands it off to Heath Hembree, who's been a big part of what success the Red Sox bullpen has been able to muster this year.
Very important piece here for the Red Sox. Heath Hembree. Fastball, curve, slider. A lot of fastballs, a lot of high fastballs.
Delivers strike 1 to A.J. Pollock. Hembree missed most of June with an elbow issue. But having a career year around that injury. This is badly there, 1-1. They got a few guys, overall it's not been a good season for the bullpen, but a few guys, and Hembree, Workman, and Waldman not as good over the last month, but overall good numbers for him. A few guys that have had career seasons.
Well, Hembree and Workman definitely stand out with the job they've done. High leverage, they've been put in high leverage situations.
One and 2 on Pollock. Of course, no offseason additions to that bullpen, even with Kimbrel and Kelly departing from the World Championship team. Hope is that Nate Eovaldi comes back soon and can strengthen things at the back end. They have blown just under half of their save opportunities. Hembree's 1-2, and Pollock shoots it down the line, but foul.
So Cody Bellinger hit the fly ball to right. Remember the pitch that didn't hit him and David Freese didn't go to third. He hits the fly ball to right, sac fly instead of an F9. It's an RBI on his birthday Cody Bellinger would have had, and another earned run that would have been tacked on Chris Sale's line. So game of inches, game of weird quirks.
Look out. Pollock gets hit, and this inning kept alive. Perfect night at Fenway Park. Temperature in the high 80s at first pitch, down into the low 80s now. The Red Sox fans, everything perfect other than the score. First and third, 2 gone for Muncy. Ball 1.
Joe, we talked about the Red Sox home record. This is a game, even though it's 5-1 in years past, you were still nervous as the visiting team. Yeah, it's only 5-1. Yeah, we're up 4. It's the 5th inning, but you always had the sense that the Red Sox could find a way to make it close, get the tying run to the plate. And right now, with the atmosphere, you don't feel that with the Red Sox faithful right now. It's more of a gloom and doom, and they won the World Series last year.
Yeah, and last year, you're right, there was a magic about it where you just knew they were going to find a way. They haven't really had that same kind of magic at any point this year. Trying to do what the Dodgers did last year, which was recover from a slow start, wind up winning the division, winning the pennant. Dodgers trying to do what the Red Sox did. Be the best team during the regular season and the last team standing in October. First and third, 1 gone. Here comes the 1-1 to Muncy. Big rip and a miss, 1 and 2.
The difference in pitching now. How many high fastballs do you see? Every pitcher, especially relievers, come in high fastball, high fastball, high fastball, and then a curveball or a slider off of that high fastball. It used to be, hey, get the ball down, throw it down, throw it down. Now it's throw it up with high spin rates. Get on top of the hitter's swings.
On top of the modern swing. Muncy down swinging. But the Dodgers strike for 3. David Freese and Justin Turner both coming up with big 2-strike hits against Chris Sale. And halfway home with the Dodgers in front 5-1.
Everywhere I go, catch me on the block like I'm
The 5th inning, Dodgers ahead of the Red Sox 5-1. They chase Chris Sale from the game, who for the 3rd consecutive start gives up 5 or more earned runs. First time in his career that that's happened. Dodgers getting 3 runs in the top of the 5th, growing the lead for Ross Stripling, who has looked as good as he's looked in this most recent trip to the rotation. That's strike 1 on Christian Vasquez.
And that first stat on the Budweiser game summary shows you how dominant in his career Chris Sale has been. The first time he's ever given up 5 earned runs in 3 straight starts. Everyone has a bad stretch of games, but Chris Sale hadn't up until tonight.
One ball, one strike. This is why you play the games, right? I mean, Chris Sale against Ross Stripling, and you know the season sales have it, not normal for Chris Sale, but on paper you figure big time advantage for the Red Sox.
In Fenway Park. Dodgers less lofty offense against left-handed pitching. Got dominated by Rodriguez last night. It all was there for the Red Sox.
It's still a long way to go, but a 5-1 hole. And a 1-2 count on Christian Vasquez. Stripling gets him swinging with a changeup. Time for a game break. We say hello to Mike Hill in Los Angeles. Okay, Mike. Boy, the Nationals, a lot of people left for dead, have charged back in the division. That's a strike on Brock Holt.
Absolutely. They were a month ago. They're talking about, are they going to trade Max Scherzer?
Right.
Now they're right there for a wild card and thinking, have thoughts on the division, but unfortunately Scherzer went on the IL today with a back problem.
1-1 on Holt, covering the bases, sponsored by State Farm. Takes a look at those Nationals, who were 19-31 over the first 50 games of the season, but they've been the best team in baseball since.
And which team are they?
That's muscled into right center for a base hit for Holt. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Progressive, making it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. Quincy Market here in Boston. So much to do, so much to see, and great weather this weekend to do it.
On the Nationals, are they the 19-31?
That's a good question.
Or are they the other team? Everyone came into this year saying, "Oh, they're another favorite," like they were last year. Did nothing last year. Now all of a sudden, they get off to a terrible start. All the expectations go away. They get on this huge run to get back over 500. Guess what? The expectations come back. Are they the great team that everyone thinks can get possibly to a World Series? Get out of the first round for the first time for the Nationals. Be interesting to see how they go from here.
1-0 pitch to Sandy Leon is a little bit high. What do you think? Which team are they?
I think they're better than the 19-31 team. I don't know if they're as good as they are that they've been for the last 45 games or so, but they're a good team. Their team, if you go on paper and you stack it up against other teams, their talent level, their starters, they get the thing for the Nationals has been for the last few years, can they get enough bullpen besides Doolittle? They've tried everybody. They've tried a million different combinations. None of them have worked.
That's cranked towards right, but Bellinger's there. And Leon is out number 2. Kenny, what do you think?
Well, they brought in Fernando Rodney. He has helped them in the bullpen. They're looking at Jake Diekman from the Royals, a lefty, something they could add. And let's face it, AJ, if they get in, Scherzer, Strasburg, and Corbin, maybe they finally win a playoff series with that group.
I wouldn't want to play them. You get one game, you get to face Max Scherzer and a wild card possibility. 5-game series, you get Scherzer twice, Strasburg, and Corbin. Those aren't fun matchups for anybody. But man, that would be fun. One game, Max Scherzer versus, if it's Philly, Aaron Nola. I mean, wow.
Speaking of fun, I mean, most of the division races wide leads at this point. The National League wild card race, that's the ticket this summer. That's going to be the fun one to watch. Here's Jackie Bradley with 2 gone, taking a strike.
Well, which team is going to go on that 10-game 9-1 run and separate themselves from everyone else? Who's it going to be? Who's going to be the team that can get some distance? They're so bunched up and they're so close.
It's coloring the trade market too, because so many teams still think that they should be buyers. That's top back to the mound. Ross Stripling will shovel it on to first, and for the first time in this return to the rotation, he's gone 5 full innings. Podcast is sponsored by Jiffy Lube. You can do more in a jiffy. And by USAA Insurance, banking and investments tailored for the military community. Dodgers 5, Red Sox 1 after the Red Sox took game 1 last night 8-1. Dodgers all over Chris Sale in this one. We go to the 6th. Red Sox deeper into the bullpen with Colton Brewer. Just
Colton Brewer. A lot of curveballs, a lot of cutters from this young man. Trying to find his spot in the bullpen. They need innings out of him right now. Only in the 6th, down 5-1. Hold them there. Give our offense an opportunity to come back.
Bottom of the Dodge order here. Corey Seager 0 for 2 tonight. 0 for 6 since coming back.
Surprised by that. We saw him doing virtual reality swings today in the tunnel. I've never seen that. He had the full VR thing on his face and was taking sliders and
grounds this one into the shift. Brock Holt throws him out, 1 gone. A lot of the Dodgers have really embraced that technology. Seager, while he was on the injured list, used it to stay current, keep the eyes current. Do you think it would have helped you?
Maybe. I've never tried. I'd like to try it.
It's very realistic.
I would love to put one of those headsets on and try it just to see what it's like. I don't know. I guess it would keep your eyes sharp. You still can't simulate actually swinging and hitting the ball. But I guess for your eyes, yeah.
It's a ball on Kike Hernandez.
For a long time, a lot of guys would walk out to the bullpen when they're on the injured list and watch the pitchers throw their bullpen to try to keep their timing and everything. But until you step in the batter's box and actually have to swing, you cannot simulate that.
Yeah, they call it tracking pitches, right? Go out there and just track pitches. Now, with this virtual reality, you can see, for example, Chris Sale's slider on VR. Maybe you've never seen him before, but you put this headset on. It's not the real thing, but it's better than nothing.
Plus, you don't have to walk all the way out to the bullpen. You'd be extra lazy.
Yeah. 2-1 on Hernandez. Robert Van Scoyoc, new hitting coach.
Now, is that his? Is it just a Dodger thing? It's not just
Well,
Ross?
it's a cross baseball at this point.
When I walked out of the Dodgers clubhouse after speaking with Dave Roberts, and I saw him doing that, I looked at you and was like, what is he doing?
Playing video games, AJ. That's a thing.
That's what it looked like. And in Fenway Park, you have to understand the clubhouse is very small, very limited space. So he was actually in the public space doing this. So
on the concourse, right next to the hot dog stand.
Yes. He could have got himself abroad in between visual reality swings.
That's a walk for Hernandez, and the Dodgers are the 1-out base runner. Play Ball is MLB's initiative to inspire all forms of baseball and softball participation, making play opportunities available and fun for everyone. Find a youth organization near you. Go to playball.org. The bottom of the Dodger lineup, 2 struggling hitters on the season, and Hernandez and Barnes doing well tonight. Both reached their last time. Both came to score as part of their 3-run 5th. There goes Hernandez as Barnes smacks it foul.
I like it. I like it by Dave Roberts. That was a hit and run. You got Barnes, who struggled all year with the bat. Kike Hernandez, who can run, steal a base. Why not start it? Open up the entire right side of the infield. Brock Holt was covering. Good pitch to do it on. Unfortunately for Austin Barnes, he just fouled it off. But I like the aggressiveness by Dave Roberts. And he's trying to put his guys in position to be successful by, one, forcing him to swing the bat and giving him a target.
trying to help Barnes snap out of a 3 for 34 skid. Had a huge offensive season in 2017. Not good last year. He was hoping that this year would be more like 17 than 18, but it's been a struggle again. On a 1-2 pitch, he takes it in the dirt. That kicks away from Leon, and into scoring position goes Hernandez.
Not much Sandy Leon can do with this. Just a spike curveball. Tries to do everything he can. Gets his body out there, tries to get in front of it. Actually hits off his chest protector. Just couldn't get his right shoulder turned to direct the ball back towards home plate. An easy read for Kike Hernandez at first to get to second.
Well, the Dodgers 7 runs total during their current 4-game losing streak, but they've got 5 already tonight. Barnes chases one in the dirt. He's out number 2. Dave Roberts is quick to say that he understands that it's cyclical and teams go through stretches like this. Nothing too concerning for him yet. And I guess 12.5 game lead will help you feel that way.
That game, if it gets down to about 2.5 games, Dave Roberts will have a different story for us. But yeah, you go into the break with a 13.5 game lead and go into a little mini slump, and it's easy to laugh it off.
Top of the order, Chris Taylor, who takes it in the dirt, and Leon able to keep it close by. Hernandez stays at second. Taylor 0 for 2 tonight. He walked to open the game and came in to score. Good pitch.
Taylor's at bat in the first kind of set the tone for Chris Sale. Didn't get the inside pitch called and showed his frustration. The first hitter of the game towards the home plate umpire, and just kind of carried over from there.
On a 1-1 pitch, it's outside, ball 2. Count evens 2-2 on Taylor.
Everything going away from Brewer. Every pitch he throws goes away from a right-handed hitter, whether it's curveball. Doesn't really throw necessarily a fastball. It's more of a cutter, but everything going away from Chris Taylor.
Jock Peterson, if this inning were to get that far, looks like would hit for David Freese. And the DH spot with the right-hander on the mound now. 2-2. A little bit high and a full count on Taylor. Taylor's got his second walk tonight. And it brings up Turner. Well, Justin Turner had been struggling over the last week and a half or so, but tonight he's got a home run and an RBI double.
Nothing breaks you out of a slump like a home run, Joe. Especially off a guy like Chris Sale. It'll get you real hot real fast.
34-year-old in his 11th major league season finds himself with another RBI chance here. Hernandez at second and Taylor at first, and a 5-1 game in the 6th. Brewer's first one is a little bit low, ball 1.
Brewer threw Taylor a 3-2 curveball. Justin Turner hitting behind him, who for the last 4 or 5 years has been the Dodgers' most consistent best hitter. Questionable. He hasn't exactly had great control of the curveball. Sandy Leon's back there needing an ice bath from all the breaking balls in the dirt.
Off the end of the bat, behind first, Vasquez backs up on it and makes the catch to end the inning. Dodgers leave a couple. Top of the order coming up for the Red Sox, trying to charge back in Boston. Well, Stephen Wright was activated at the end of June after an 80-game PED suspension. He is another guy that they hope can bolster this bullpen moving forward.
And knuckleball, Stephen Wright. When he is right, his ball dances all over the place. Alex Cora said he's not quite there yet, but he's climbing.
Have fun, Jock Peterson. Off of the bench, go face the knuckleballer.
What's better than facing a guy throwing 100 like Joe Kelly? At least this one. Or most guys' bat speed. Yeah. More like good luck Sandy Leon going from Chris Sale and all these guys throwing to a ball. Don't know where it's going.
Well, Jock Peterson, a fascinating case for the Dodgers, where he's among the leaders in one of the power categories, but it is almost exclusively against right-handed pitching.
And it is an automatic at bat when a righty comes in. Get Jock Peterson in there.
Pops this one into shallow left with the way the infield was positioned. That is all Benintendi, and Peterson the first out of the 7th. And with A.J. Pollock's return, Alex Verdugo is so good, the rookie in center field, that he'll slide over to left. Pollock is going to play center field most days, and so to keep Jock Peterson in the lineup, they've started playing him at first base.
It's been an up and down transition for Jock Peterson. Some good days and some bad days, but if you've been an outfielder and first base is so easy. There's a lot that goes into playing first base.
Here's Bellinger with the bases empty and one gone, taking a ball. And Dave Roberts did say that he could envision a scenario eventually where Cody Bellinger plays first base, Jock Peterson plays right. The reason they're not doing it right away is Cody Bellinger injured his shoulder playing first base earlier this season. Turns on this ball and launches one into the Boston night. A mammoth home run for Cody Bellinger, and the Dodgers lead at 6-2.
Happy birthday, Cody Bellinger. Some tough at bats off Chris Sale. He gets Stephen Wright out there, who hangs him a knuckleball, and he hit it a mile.
Number 31 this season for Bellinger. And now ball on Pollock. You start looking at the all-time leaderboard in Dodger history. Sean Green is the record holder at 49. Bellinger already at 31.
He stays healthy, he's going to break that record this year. It's my bold prediction of the evening, Joe.
Does he win MVP?
Right now, yes. Him and Christian Yelich are having two of the best years
dueling
you've ever seen. And now MLB is doing that cool commercial, Yelly versus Belly, where they're trying to outdo each other hitting balls. It's just great for the sport. Two guys are having such great years at the same time.
Of course, early on he was doing his best Ted Williams impression, flirting with 400. And as wonderful as a season as he's had, you see the average down at 336 now. It's a reminder how impossibly difficult it is to hit 400 over the course of a season.
Yeah, it'll never happen. Nobody will hit 400 again.
2-2 on Pollock. Anytime you come to Boston, it's a good reminder how how otherworldly Ted Williams was.
Well, that ball that Cody Bellinger just hit went 433 feet, right? There's a seat out there in right field. It's covered. Someone's sitting in it that Ted Williams, they say, hit. That's another 150 feet past where he just hit it.
Pollock reaches out, digs this one to left towards the monster, and gone. Bellinger and Pollock go back to back. And the Dodgers expand the lead a little more on Pollock's third home run of the season. So there's one of those guys fresh off of the IL, plugged right into this Dodger lineup.
Immediate dividends tonight for A.J. Pollock. Huge hit in the first inning to get the Dodgers on the board off Chris Sale. And now this home run off Stephen Wright. Actually fooled by this pitch, just gets it out in front. The way the ball's flying out this year. Front row, and the guy clanks it. That was a shot on TV to make a great play, and absolutely clanked it out there.
E10. Ball one on Muncy. I mean, yeah, fooled and leaning, and second game in the last 3 months, and is still flicked over the monster.
It's a good feeling to be that strong as a young man like A.J. Pollock.
Good feeling to play in this era too, huh?
I think Justin Verlander summed it up best at the All-Star game. I'm gonna leave it at that, with his comments about the balls and the difference in them.
2 balls, 1 strike on Muncy. On pace to shatter the home run record. Half of the teams are on pace to break their own home run records.
Heck, the Twins are on a pace to hit almost, what, 350 home runs?
It's wild.
It used to be if you hit 200, you had an amazing season. If you hit 200 home runs, that was like, wow, the team hit 200 home runs. Now they're going to hit over 300 this year.
Muncy tried to make it back to back to back. Full count.
And this is what the knuckleball can do to you. Get one that's dancing up there and make you swing funny and have your helmet fall off.
The Dodgers, who had scored a total of 7 runs during the 4-game losing streak, have 7 tonight. Muncy hits it right back off of Stephen Wright, and he's got an infield single. Red Sox bigger concern is about Wright.
Right back up the middle by Max Muncy. They clipped the foot. Stephen Wright and limping around for a little bit, but
as we continue to take a look at Stephen Wright.
not only is his foot hurting right now, but his feelings are hurting as he walks off the mound.
It's going to do it for him. Back-to-back home runs, and then a base hit off his foot. First of those home runs came from Cody Bellinger, 31st of the season for him. And the Dodgers growing the lead here at Fenway, trying to even this series at a game apiece. Today is the 20-year anniversary of one of the great all-star moments. Ted Williams came back to Fenway Park throughout the ceremonial first pitch, caught by Carlton Fisk. Incredible moment pregame, and then of course Pedro Martinez starts the game for the American League and strikes out 5 of the 6 hitters that he faces. Nobody better though than number 9.
What a hitter.
Oh.
I mean, an amazing hitter. Got him and Tony Gwynn standing together, 2 of the best of all time. But these numbers by Ted Williams, just think if you didn't have to go to the war from 43, 44 to 46. I mean, all time just greats.
So he's got those 2 MVPs that don't include the 2 Triple Crown seasons, and they don't include the 1941 season when he hit 400.
Yeah, there's much better players those years.
Yeah, right.
I mean, if you win the Triple Crown, you should just automatically win the MVP for that season.
You're talking about how great the seasons are that Cody Bellinger and Christian Yelich are having. They are trying to become the only active players with single season OPSs as good as Ted Williams' career OPS. There's not a single active player whose best season is as good as an average Ted Williams season.
That just shows you how good Ted Williams was. 1100 OPS. If you have a 800 OPS, you're doing a lot of damage as a player, as a hitter. You get up into 1,000, you're talking all-time great MVPs. And Ted Williams' average year was another 100 points above that at 1100. Incredible.
Marcus Walden comes on to pitch here. He gets as much time as he needs to get ready following the injury to Stephen Wright. Walden not as good lately, but overall it's been a pretty good year for him.
Yeah, 6 wins, mid-3 ERA. He's been one of the weapons. He was one of the weapons for the Red Sox. Hoping he can come in here, give him some innings, get him through the last outs of these games so they can save the rest of the guys down. That's what they were hoping for from Stephen Wright until he took the line drive off the foot area.
While he finishes his warm-ups, our dynamic play of the game presented by Hankook Tire. The birthday boy launching his 31st home run of the year.
An absolute bomb by Cody Bellinger. Got 1 hit off Chris Sale that went about 40 feet. And his last at bat, he hits one that goes about 440 feet.
That has fielded a bit extra special for him coming against the Boston Red Sox, team that he won 1 for 16 against in the World Series last year. There's that Triple Crown race, MVP race between Yelich and Bellinger. Not been a National League Triple Crown winner since Joe Medwick of the Cardinals in 1937.
It's been a long time coming, but after watching Miguel Cabrera in 2012 win the Triple Crown, never thinking I'd see it in my lifetime. It's so hard in today's game because there's so many specialized guys that just hit home runs, guys that just hit for average, although the average has kind of fallen off in today's game. It's more OPS, but if you win a Triple Crown today's game, 2019 and beyond, you should go to the Hall of Fame
just
right away.
Retire right there.
Yeah, just walk into Cooperstown.
3 straight hits for the Dodgers. Bellinger's homer, Pollock's homer, and then the base hit for Muncy that chases Stephen Wright. So Walden's ready to go, facing Corey Seager in a 7-2 game. Seager looks at a strike. 3 groundouts tonight, 0 for 7 in his first 2 games back. Now Corey Seager, when he's been healthy, to his 2 fully healthy seasons in the majors, one of the more valuable players in the game.
Well, his value lies in his position that he plays as a shortstop. His defense, but more importantly, his offense that he brings to the shortstop position, and the power.
All-Star and Silver Slugger winner, both of his fully healthy years, 16 and 17. And he had that Tommy John surgery. While he was recovering from that, he also had hip surgery, which had been bothering him. He cut out dairy, cut pizza, rebuilt his body.
Pizza?
Yeah,
You can't cut
tough.
out pizza.
Tough. Somehow fouls that. Pizza would be harder for you than just dairy in general.
Well, the problem is if you cut out dairy, you can't put cheese on your pizza. So then what's the point?
It's true.
But Gabe Kapler, the manager of the Phillies, played with him in Arizona Fall League, and after some games, everyone would get pizza. He would take the cheese off the pizza, and I'm like, what are you doing? And anyone knows what Gabe Kapler looks like. I mean,
that's what he's doing.
That's what he's doing. I mean, he is in some serious good shape.
That's where the Dodgers head from here. Face the Phillies in a 4-game series beginning Monday. There's a team that's hard to figure out, huh? As much talent as they have, one All-Star. Below 500 over the last month. Nationals have overtaken them. Everybody chasing Atlanta. Phillies do lead tonight, 3-1 against Washington.
And for Seager's diet, what you're saying is kind of become the norm for Major League Baseball. You used to go into these clubhouses and you had cookies and cakes and ice creams and pizza and wings before and after the game. But now you have health food. No, they take all the candy. They've gotten rid of all the ice cream.
You would have hated it, huh?
Oh, it would have been miserable.
Where is my ice cream?
I mean, every game I do, I hope they have the soft serve in the press dining room. Luckily, Boston does.
2-2. Seager taps it back to the mound. They get the out at first. Nobody home at third. Max Muncy sees and forces the errant throw, wreaking havoc to bring home another run. Dodgers lead at 8-2 thanks to the hustle from Max Muncy.
Let's give Max Muncy credit. He is going hard out from first to second, racing Devers to third. And Christian Vasquez, first game starting at first in his career, just doesn't know what to do. Throws it behind Devers. Leads to Muncy scoring easy, but he goes all the way and he sees this play right away and he knows, hey, it's a race. And an errant throw for Vasquez. The rough night for him continues. His first ever start at first base, 3 punch outs and just kind of a wild throw. Sandy Leon was trying to get to third. It's just an awkward play because of the shift. Sandy Leon, the catcher, is supposed to be there, but at the same time, Christian Vasquez just can't throw that, and he's new over there. So, but great base running by Max Muncy.
Ball on a strike on Kike Hernandez. Bob Guerin, the Dodger bench coach, has said that with Chase Utley retiring, somebody who is revered among Dodger fans for playing the game like that, he says that Max Muncy is his new Chase Utley.
It's a compliment.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely a compliment. No one played harder than Chase Utley. No one wanted to win more than Chase Utley. No one would do anything they could to win the game more than Chase Utley.
That's what Bob Guerin loves about Max Muncy. Every little detail, anything that he can do to help give his team a better chance. Hernandez crushes that ball down the line, but it's foul.
Well, bench coaches and managers tend to like you a whole lot more when you can hit the ball out of the park the way Max Muncy can also.
That helps too.
And Chase Utley could do it also.
Muncy 22 home runs this season. Quite a follow-up campaign to the 35 home run breakout last year. A lot of people ask, could he do it again? Was that real? You know, he had similar thoughts. Can I repeat it? All-star for the first time in the follow-up season. 3-2 to Hernandez. And we'll do it again.
Kike Hernandez not giving away this at bat. 6-run lead in the 7th. Struggling the way him and Austin Barnes have all year. These are the at bats. Hey, you get a hit, maybe it gets you going, maybe it gets you hot. You just never know when it can turn as a hitter. He's battling Walden right here every pitch.
7th pitch. There will be an 8th. Hernandez quietly going through one of the better stretches for him since his hot start to the year. Hitting above 300 over his last 8 games. Got a hit and a walk already tonight. Getting an opportunity here this weekend with 3 straight left-handed starting pitchers from Boston. Another 3-2. And a drive down the line towards the pole again and foul again. He has blasted a couple. That's a heck of a catch. Huh?
I was going to say he might have blasted it, but the guy out there in left field barehanded his ball.
Wow.
Not even shaking it. This is a great play. Ho hum. Didn't lose the beer.
Impressive. Good timing to have the cap on. I think you should open it now. Celebrate.
Wait until between innings. 7th inning stretch.
So this is now a 10-pitch at bat. Another good catch up there. Fans are putting on a show.
And the kid next to him, he's confused. He's got a Dodgers hat on and a Red Sox
An American
jersey.
League team and a National League team. A baseball fan. Another 3-2. Hernandez walks.
Nice night for Kike Hernandez continues. 2 walks and a single. And a really good at bat and an opportunity when it could have got away from him.
Yeah, twice just missed home runs. Ultimately walks on 10 pitches. Yeah, gets Barnes up there. One of the key moments in this game, I thought, Chris Sale hitting Austin Barnes. It's part of that 3-run inning.
Hitting him in the back leg on a slider. A couple guys on, put the bottom of the order on for the top, rolled their lineup over, and then Justin Turner, David Freese, RBI doubles back to back.
Barnes' other 2 at-bats tonight, he's struck out in both and is 3 for his last 35. Oh, 1-2.
Dodgers love his defense, though, the way he receives the ball, his athleticism behind the plate. And he's shown flashes of hitting. Every once in a while he'll show a flash here and there, and they're hoping they can get some more consistency out of Austin Barnes at the plate.
Pairs with Russell Martin.
Russell Martin, the veteran, started with LA, went away for a few years, happy to be back in LA. He's content catching every couple days.
Full count. His phone has been blowing up.
It's like, you're all over TV.
The Dodgers in this game getting single runs in the first and in the third. They got 3 in the fifth to chase Chris Sale. Got 3 more here in the seventh. Red Sox single runs in the fourth and the sixth.
And every time the Red Sox have scored, the Dodgers have bounced back with a 3 spot to just keep the pressure on the Red Sox offense.
Runner goes with a 3-2 and another foul ball. So after Hernandez walked on 10 pitches, Barnes ready for the 8th of this at bat.
Just a lot of long drawn out at bats by the Dodgers offense. A lot of foul balls, just battling and battling.
Talked about it earlier on, but it's one of the big improvements for this offense collectively this year. That is what they do with 2 strikes. Here's another 3-2. Barnes hits a high fly ball to left field that sends Benintendi back to the track. At the wall, can't get it. Barnes headed for third. Benintendi's throw dies before it gets there, and the Dodgers have a 9-2 lead.
Benintendi gets back there. He jumps just off the tip of his glove. Austin Barnes happy. Had just missed his glove. He got to race around to third for an RBI triple.
Next Saturday on FS1, an MLB doubleheader. Pete Alonso, 30 home runs in the Home Run Derby title, leading the Mets out San Francisco to face the Giants. Nationals and the Braves. Braves out in front of the division. Nationals hot in pursuit, though. FS1 next week. 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. So the Dodgers with 4 runs here in the 7th, and back to the top of the order in Chris Taylor.
Before that triple by Barnes, we showed the ball boy Chris Cundiff, because he's been chasing foul balls. He's been here 25 years as the ball boy.
Wow. Taylor bounces one left side. Bogarts with a backhand pickup, able to get him and finish the inning. The Dodgers strike for 4. They get home runs from Bellinger and Pollock. They get a couple more. Best defensive player of the inning for the Red Sox is seated up there. Sponsored by Bank of America. What would you like the power to do? All Dodgers so far tonight, 9-2 to the bottom of the 7th. And you can visit the official online shop of Major League Baseball at MLBshop.com. Find the largest selection of authentic caps, t-shirts, jerseys, and plenty more. Commemorate your favorite team at MLBshop.com. Cody Bellinger with a home run is part of that 4-run inning for the Dodgers. A.J. Pollock as well. And Julio Urias comes into the game for the Dodgers with plenty of cushion to work with.
Dave Roberts said he wanted to get Urias into the game. We thought it would be right after Stripling. Instead, Joe Kelly snuck an inning in there, and now Urias is in possibly to finish out the game, get 9 outs for him.
Eduardo Nunez pinch hitting, turns on the first pitch and lifts it foul. Don't lift it towards that guy in the corner. It's going to get caught.
No, he just hit it out of the stadium foul, though. No one could catch that one.
I don't know. I wouldn't put it past that guy.
He's too busy checking his phone right now.
Ground ball to second. Kike Hernandez. Time for a game break. Here's Mike Hill. Somehow he just keeps getting better. 9-2 game in the 7th. Sandy Leon. We've not had a chance yet to talk about what a special night that was at Angel Stadium last night with a combined no-hitter. First game back in Anaheim for the Angels since Tyler Skaggs passed away, and they went above and beyond in so many ways in honoring his legacy. All wearing 45. His mom threw out the ceremonial first pitch. 1 day shy of what would have been his 28th birthday, they throw a combined no-hitter. It was the first combined no-hitter in the state of California since the day Tyler Skaggs was born, July 13th, 1991.
It just all lined up. It was an incredible moment. The pregame stuff they did, the Angels did, the entire team wearing 45. They go out, score a bunch of runs in the first inning, and then the no-hitter was just, I mean, the icing on the cake on a night you're honoring one of your starting pitchers who so suddenly passed. To do that, and then his birthday, just incredible.
There were so many little things like that where just say, oh my goodness, he had his hand in this. So you mentioned the runs early. They scored 7 runs in the first. They scored 13 total. Again, making you think of his birthday. 7-13.
Amazing. Amazing.
Chopper to third for Turner. 2 up and 2 down in the 7th. Mike Trout, fastest in franchise history to get to 30 home runs. He did that last night. He's added 1 tonight. And is going to be an Angel for life with that big contract that he signed this spring.
As he should be. That. When you think of Mike Trout, you only think of the Angels. It's a shame guys have to switch teams. It's great when a guy can say, hey, I want to stay in Anaheim my entire career, or say Cody Bellinger, I want to be a Dodger my entire career, or a guy like Dustin Pedroia that's been a Red Sox his whole career. I mean, just that's what fans want to see. You want to see those guys that stick around and the ability to do that.
Billy Epler, who runs the Angels, he grew up in San Diego rooting for Tony Gwynn's Padres and admiring the fact that he was just a Padre. And then early on in his career worked for the Yankees. Saw the same thing with Derek Jeter. And that became a goal of his when he took over the Angels, to make Mike Trout of that mold. Bradley lifts the ball to right. Cody Bellinger will camp under it. And Julio Urias has a 1-2-3 7th. 9-2 as we go to the 8th. And Ryan Brazier comes on for Boston. One of the breakout stars of their bullpen last year. Hasn't had the same kind of numbers this season.
Still not terrible. 2-3 with a 3.58. Eduardo Nunez stays in the game for Brock Holt at second base, but
when you compare it to the 1.60 ERA that he had last year.
But he's in different situations. You lose a guy like Craig Kimbrell, who's your closer, it moves everyone back an inning into higher leverage situations. Last year, Brazier wasn't expected to give him anything at all. Just anything he gave him was a plus. He had a great year. This year, pressure goes up.
Turner lifts the ball to left field. Benintendi to the warning track. Turns and watches it hit off of the monster. Turner into second with a double. It's a 3-hit game for him. Home run and 2 doubles. Well, the Dodger offense coming to life in a big way tonight.
That's not a bad pitch. That ball's up and into Justin Turner. He's just ready for it. Beats it to the spot. Bangs it off the green monster for an easy double.
12th hit for the Dodgers. Brings up Jack Peterson. Flied out in his pinch hit appearance for David Freese last inning. What a show that was. Jack Peterson and Vlad Guerrero Jr. put on head-to-head in the Derby, huh?
Oh, man. Nobody wanted to lose that. They both walked away exhausted from it.
So much fun to watch.
The whole home run derby was great this year. All the home runs, the totals were way up. The distances were way up.
They weren't even waiting for the balls to come down, which, fine. Big rip 0-2. Talking to our buddy Boog Shambi over at ESPN Radio, who was calling the home run derby on radio. That's not an easy thing when there's, he said, I swear to gosh, there were 3 balls in the air at one point.
Yeah, how do you call that on the radio? Back,
Right.
gone. And
that one though, Scott.
It was like rapid fire home runs.
Right. Peterson sends one to right center field. Betts back on it to the edge of the track. He's got it. Turner to third. So Bellinger another opportunity here on his birthday. He's gone 2 for 4 with an infield single in the first that helped lead to the Dodgers' first run, extending that inning against Chris Sale. And then a long home run his last time. The MVP chants from some of the Dodger fans that have made the trip. Or East Coast Dodger fans enjoying their team's presence here at Fenway. Fly to center field and should be plenty deep enough to bring home Justin Turner. Dodgers have a 10 spot. Bellinger drives in another. Now 73 total this year, trailing just Josh Bell.
And 2 productive outs for the Dodgers. Jock Peterson hitting a deep fly ball to right to get Turner to third with 1 out, and then Cody Bellinger doing what MVP candidates do, getting the ball up, hitting a nice sac fly to get another RBI on his total.
Encouraging returns from A.J. Pollock tonight. Got a base hit in his first game back. First game since April last night. Tonight, RBI single and a home run. Still not sure how that was a home run. Off balance swing.
It was a home run because it went over the fence, Joe. That's why.
Oh, that's how that works.
Yeah, it looked like he just flicked it off balance, out in front. Just flicked it and just rode up over the green monster in left center.
Here it is. This is what I mean, AJ. How is this home run?
He's right on balance, Joe. Don't you see it? He's completely off balance.
Weight back.
Yeah, squishing the bug, none of that. He's completely off balance, out in front. Just backspun it high enough to get out.
To short for Bogaerts. That's that for the Dodgers in the 8th. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Wells Fargo. This is a commitment to better banking. This is Wells Fargo. And by Sprint. Switch today. Dodgers ahead of the Red Sox 10-2. Joe Davis, A.J. Pierzynski, Ken Rosenthal, and Mookie Betts against Julio Urias, taking strike one. Betts 1 for 3 tonight. Scored one of the 2 Boston runs back in the 6th, then a base hit from Bogaerts. It was tight at that point, made it 5-2. Red Sox put him at 2nd and 3rd against Joe Kelly, and the tying run at the plate. Kelly was able to strike out Vasquez to keep it 5-2, and then Dodgers responded with a 4-run half inning right after.
At that moment, we thought, man, we got a game. Vasquez up, long at bat, strikes out. What do the Dodgers do? They go out and score 4 right after that and put this game out of reach.
And Urias worked a very quick 7th inning, comes home with a 1-2. And gets Betts looking, 1 gone. And Mookie speechless. Strike zone from Brennan Miller.
Like many of the Red Sox tonight, not very happy with Brendan Miller behind home plate. Chris Sale started the first hitter of the game, and all the way in the 8th, Mookie Betts still complaining. Very inconsistent, they're saying.
Michael Chavis to pinch hit. And he yanks one on a bounce to Turner. Urias continues to mow him down. 5 up, 5 down on 16 pitches.
It's exactly what Dave Roberts wanted when he brought in Urias into the game. Quick outs, a lot of strikes, 16 pitches, 13 strikes.
Marco Hernandez now with this 8-run deficit. Alex Cora getting some of his regulars off of their feet for the final couple innings. unloading that bench. Boston's been a really good pinch hitting team this year. And Hernandez quietly really good in whatever role he's been in.
Yeah, but it's tough. You're coming off the bench. You're facing Arias, left on left, throwing 97 miles an hour. Not a fun at bat.
Came up in early June after missing almost 2 full seasons with a shoulder injury. He's behind 0-2. This is a tough way to put an 8-game hitting streak on the line, as it is for Hernandez, hitting above 500 during that time. Arias like a warm knife through butter here in the 8th. So this generation puts his legacy on the line. Manny Pacquiao against undefeated world champion Keith Thurman in the can't-miss fight of the summer. 9 Eastern next Saturday, live on pay-per-view, or you can order on the Fox Sports app. To the 9th inning we go, and Hector Velasquez, who has been back and forth between the rotation and the bullpen for the Red Sox, on to handle the 9th.
Velasquez, much like Ross Stripling, like you said, Joe, back and forth from the rotation. Hasn't had quite the success that Stripling has. Still trying to find that role that will get him going.
Well, they hope the acquisition of Andrew Cashner means he can settle into a bullpen role, because the trickle down from Nate Eovaldi's injury, as Marco Hernandez stays in the game and plays second base, Nunez moves over to short. But the trickle down, and Chavis in there third, trickle down from the injury is that 5th spot in the rotation has been a revolving door, and no matter who has been in there, it's been a problem with an ERA around 7.
And that has Dave Dombrowski on the phone looking for a guy, and he found Andrew Cashner to try to fill that role. And they're hoping not only will Cashner give him some wins, but some length. The starting rotation, which Alex Cora told us before the game, as we've discussed, they just need more length out of their starters. Even Chris Sale tonight didn't give them enough length, which then puts the bullpen on notice. More innings, and then Stephen Wright, their knuckleballer, goes down, gets more guys into the game.
Came into the year thinking that, yeah, the bullpen lost Kimbrel, lost Kelly, but the rotation would be good enough to kind of carry the pitching staff. But it's been the opposite, where the rotation has struggled and put an added burden on a bullpen that wasn't supposed to be a strength, wasn't supposed to carry much of the load.
Well, that guy right there, David Price, hasn't struggled, and Rodriguez had a great start last night. David Price is actually having a really nice year for himself.
3-2 on Muncy.
Dave Dombrowski, he's not afraid to pull the trigger on a trade.
No.
He sees a guy he wants and a guy he likes, he goes and gets him.
Kind of old school in that regard. Wheeling and dealing GM.
He's not quite Dipoto out in Seattle, but
who is? Trade a day. Fly ball to center field. Jackie Bradley to the warning track, to the wall, and gone. Home run, Max Muncy, and they lead it 11-2 on Muncy's 23rd. Fourth one for the Dodgers tonight. Travels 415 feet off of the bat of Muncy.
just a nice flick of the wrist. Ball's down, out over the plate. Catches it out front. Ball just keeps on going to center field for nice trot for Max Muncy.
And Seager now taking a ball. Taking home a souvenir. A lot of those tonight. Between all the foul balls and home runs. There are more foul balls than ever before here in 2019.
So you're the foul ball and the home run. More home runs than ever before and more foul balls.
And so, yeah, more fans with souvenirs to take home. That's a very glass half full way looking at it.
I was gonna say a Red Sox fan got that ball. He's probably not happy he got Max Muncy's homer.
Get a ball from an all-star as a keepsake on an otherwise rough night watching your team. Right, if it's an all-star, you keep it.
If it's not an all-star, you throw it back?
I mean, I'm just trying to go along with your case. You seem surprised he kept it. Seager down on strikes, one away.
Well, no, he wants to stay in the park. He doesn't want to get ejected, even though the score's out of control. But he's happy. He can text all his friends. Looks like it's probably his dad sitting next to him. Like his phone's blowing up. They're like, Joe Davis is talking about you on TV right now.
And he's saying, who?
Imagine the smile on his face if, say, Mookie Betts would have hit that home run to him.
Right. Strike one on Kike Hernandez. Last time Kike was up there, that gentleman you just saw sitting up near the left field corner made a wonderful catch. Hernandez on 3 times tonight, single and 2 walks. Two and 1. Dribbler along third. Chavis offline. Hernandez on for the 4th time. Infield single here.
That smile by Kike Hernandez says it all for the Dodgers tonight. They've done everything right. When they hit it hard, it goes out of the park. And when they hit it soft, it's in the right spot for infield singles.
11 runs on 14 hits now. And here's Barnes. Tripled homer run his last time. So the Dodgers still pretty clearly the favorite in the National League. For you, who is the biggest challenge to them?
I would say the Braves.
Okay.
Right now. Now, not saying the Cubs, they get everything together, couldn't challenge them, or even the Brewers for that kind of in the same line if they can figure it out a little bit. But right now, the Braves, the way they're playing, the way they're going, and their offense, they can hit lefties, they can hit righties. They figure out the bullpen a little bit. I think the Braves have probably the best shot right now.
What a mess the Central and the wild card are.
It's great. I love it.
Yeah, wonderful mess.
Chaos is great in baseball for playoff races.
Barnes takes strike 3, 2 out. Really good pitching matchup for the final game of this series as Hyun-Jin Ryu, the All-Star Game starter for the National League, goes for the Dodgers against David Price, who you detailed has been best starting pitcher for Boston this year.
Great matchup tomorrow night here at Fenway. How fun is Ryu to watch? Just the way he mixes up his pitches, spins the ball, throws enough fastballs to keep guys honest. And then when he steps, too bad it's at American League Park, when he steps in the batter's box, it's an adventure also.
Strike on Taylor. In this day and age of everybody throwing hard, Ryu and Ziggs and everybody else is zagging, and bit of a throwback guy, command guy.
If you have the command that Ryu has, and you can throw multiple pitches in multiple spots, it is tough at bat. Doesn't matter how hard you're throwing, but the spin and the changeup that he throws just keeps guys off balance.
Missed opportunity for the Red Sox, it appears, tonight to gain a game in the division, with the Yankees suffering a rare defeat. Only their 5th out of their last 22. JT Chagua for the bottom of the 9th.
We talked about in the open, Joe. This is a game if the Red Sox want to get back in the division race. Sale on the mound at home. Big win last night after the break. So far, it's counting a miracle here. It's not the way Alex Cora and the Red Sox thought it would go tonight.
Would drop them to 6-13 and Chris Sale starts.
That's unthinkable. Unthinkable. Coming into this year with the way Sale has pitched his whole career.
Taylor down swinging, finishing this 9th inning. Muncy adds a run with a homer. To the bottom of the 9th we go at Fenway. Get a souvenir. Been flying out of here tonight. JT Chargois comes on to pitch the bottom of the 9th inning with the Dodgers up 11-2.
Dodgers really looking for more out of Chargois. I think he has an opportunity to be an arm for them, especially late in games. Take some pressure off Baez and Kenley Jansen. A lot of sliders.
Rookie Verdugo checks into the game in right, getting Cody Bellinger off his feet. Heart of the order, Martinez leading off this 9th for Boston. Well, tomorrow becomes a really important game. You get the sense for the Red Sox, where they had circled this weekend series coming out of the All-Star break against the best team in the National League, knowing that they've got an uphill climb in the division. Grounded to short, Corey Seager. And knowing what they've got coming up, they want to gather some momentum going into this stretch of 21 straight against the American League East, a bunch of those against the Yankees and Rays. You get off to a great start last night. Eduardo Rodriguez was so good, but you lose all that momentum you gained last night with this dud tonight. And try to take a step in the right direction behind that man on Sunday night.
And don't forget, they're facing the best pitcher in the National League for the first half, the All-Star game starter in Ryu. So big game for them, especially at home. They need to get better at home. They need to just be better in general. So a lot of pressure on the Red Sox tomorrow night.
Benintendi hacks the first pitch foul. There's Ryu. 3 of the 5 starters for the Dodgers were at the All-Star game. Ryu, Kershaw, who's on the left there, and the talented young right-hander Walker Buehler.
Some people could have made the argument that Kenta Maeda could have also possibly made the All-Star team. Not a terrible first half for him.
No.
But a definite strength for the Dodgers. Their starting staff and their back into the bullpen with Baez and Kenley Jansen.
Carves out a fly ball to left field. Chris Taylor, plenty of room. And 2 up, 2 down in the 9th for Chargois. Tough night for Vasquez in an otherwise wonderful season. He struck out all 3 times. He had an error in his first start at first base.
He's going to be swinging early.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to get to 2 strikes. You got 3 punch out, 3 strikeouts. You're down 9 runs in the 9th with 2 outs, nobody on.
Good call. You've seen a game or 2, huh?
I've been there with 3 strikeouts. You just want to put the ball in play.
They've been updating that Nationals-Phillies game on Baseball Night in America. Nationals came from behind, got a 2-run home run from Juan Soto in the 9th inning to go up 4-3. Punch to first. Muncie's got it. He'll feed Chargois, and that does it. Couple blowout games in this series this weekend in the World Series rematch. Red Sox 8-1 on Friday night. Dodgers 11-2 here in Game 2. 3 hours 40 minutes to complete it. Dodgers end their 4-game losing streak. The Red Sox 5-game winning streak comes to an end.
Nice game for the Dodgers. Ross Stripling, story of the game for me. What a start. 5 innings, no walks, 7 punch outs. Just a great start for him. Dodgers bullpen comes in, but the offense, the home runs of the Dodgers, and the consistent pressure they kept on the Red Sox from pitch 1 to the last pitch of the game was very impressive.
Situation for the Red Sox. They're back to 9 games behind the Yankees. Yankees and Rays both lost tonight. Dodgers lead in the division back to 13.5, largest in baseball. As Cody Bellinger celebrates his 24th birthday with one of the 4 Dodger home runs tonight. They get those 11 runs on 14 hits. They had managed only 7 runs over the course of the 4-game losing streak. Dodgers saluting one of those Dodger fans who are here at Fenway. Let's go down to Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. Cody, 31st home run. It came off a knuckleballer. I can't imagine you faced too many of those. What's your approach?
I think that was actually my first one that I faced. Honestly, just didn't want to get beat by it. I feel like guys like that, you see the ball too deep, so I just tried to beat it to the spot.
You were hearing chants of MVP all night. They're still chanting it here at Fenway Park. How surprised are you to be in Boston and hearing that?
It's incredible. Just, you know, our fans are traveling all over the world right now. They're swarming downtown Boston right now, so it's been incredible, and yeah, hats off to our fans.
Cody, thanks a lot. Joe, back to you.
All right, Ken, 11-2 final score. Cody Bellinger and the Dodgers back of their winning ways with this one. Even in the series at a game apiece, they'll play the rubber match tomorrow with a great matchup. Hyun-Jin Ryu and David Price. For AJ Przinsky, Ken Rosenthal, and the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long from Boston. Dodgers and Red Sox rematch of the World Series. A couple blowouts so far in this series. One more coming up tomorrow. Let's take a break. Studio will have it on the other side, wrapping up a full day of baseball.